Going live. Going live.
Still going live.
You're live.
Maybe.
We're live. Are we
Possibly.
live? Hello. Right. Good afternoon, everyone. How you all doing? Is that the chiller that failed before Xmas? It sure is. We said possible gas issue. Indeed. We don't know. We haven't done anything with it since then. So welcome in, everyone. Yep. So this is the Liquid Devil cooling vapor phase freezer chiller unit that we have successfully used on the AMD FX overclocking, and then we failed to use on the i7 8700K because it just stopped working, and we don't know why. So there's since then, Caradog did get in contact with LD Cooling to see if he could find more information about it and find out what resources might be available to us for diagnosing or repairing it. What did you had no answer?
I've had nothing.
Yeah, and
There has been nothing.
It looks like the website is just a dead website, doesn't it? It's still online, but quite likely not. It's quite possible that the company is actually just gone and just. The website just exists and someone has just forgotten to take it down, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Because it's like the newest socket that's listed as supported is something like 1366.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bit old at this point.
Yeah. So suffice to say, it looks like we're on our own with this, basically. So we're gonna start doing some diagnostics on this today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think our starting point is just the fact that the electronics don't seem to be electronicking.
Yes, that's our current through, because lots of people have said sort of, regas it and stuff like that. That's a possibility. We are going to have a look at the gas system and come up with some ideas for that. But I think both Caradog and myself, both at this point, we reckon it's an electronics problem.
Yeah.
Because of the way it's behaving. So let's start out just by explaining the startup procedure to this. And why we think that. So,
or certainly at least what the usual procedure was.
Yeah, so why don't you tell people how does this thing turn on?
Usually what happens when you turn it on is you plug it in and basically it literally just turns on and starts and then basically immediately stops a couple of seconds later, and then gives you a little countdown timer asking for the 12 volt, because there is somewhere a little like fly lead. This one, which I just pulled off the wrong end.
Hey, that's fine. We'll have to pull it all apart anyway.
This one, that senses if you've got 12 volts coming from the computer, because what you're supposed to be able to do is leave this connected to computer 24/7 and basically just use it as a normal cooler. So when it detects 12 volts, it wakes up, it starts cooling, and it's doing none of that. It's not checking for 12 volts, and it's just sitting there, effectively idling. So I'm presuming the control electronics aren't doing anything.
Yeah, because also there's a specific error message for when there's no 12 volt signal, isn't there? It's if you start it up, if you switch it on when the computer is not on, it specifically says on its front screen, check 12 volts or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not doing that.
Yeah.
So we know that it's not even getting as far as checking for the turn on signal. Yeah. Which is why we think that this is an electronics issue, because if it was a compression issue, then, or an issue with the refrigeration system, we would expect it to still throw up the no 12 volt signal, because it should be checking for that before it tries to run the compressor.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Not, so
that's usually what it does. So that's why I'm assuming the issue is there.
Yeah. Cool. Ben Laird, hello. Thank you for the $5. How you doing, my dude? Hello to Scotland. So the first thing we want to do with this is put the phone somewhere where we can't hear it on mic.
It's fine. Goodbye. Now you get smothered.
There we go. Right. Yes. So, where was I? Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the back panel off of this and just try and expose as much of the system as we can, so we can get full access to it. And I mean, basically, what we need to do, we need to reverse engineer this thing.
Yeah, I think the thing is going to be
actually understand how it works.
Yeah, popping out the little board and having a look and seeing what that appears to be doing, and then kind of going back from there.
The problem is that board is going to be 100% custom, so this is going to be difficult. And like, we can look at something and go, well, that's clearly a microcontroller, but neither of us have any experience with programming microcontrollers, so we're going to get out of our depth real quick with this. But what we might be able to do at least is just start measuring inputs and outputs from the sensors and see if there are any signals there that are missing that we would expect to see there, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how we're going to approach this.
Yeah, and basically just kind of see what we can work out from what it's doing. And just kind of go from there.
Oh, Paul's mob is about to descend upon us. That's awesome, man. We seem to the timing for that coincides very well. What's up, people who are just coming in from Paul's stream? That's rad. Welcome all, welcome all. We're just getting started. We've got a CPU. We've got a CPU freezer, a chiller cooler here that we're going to try and diagnose. And neither of us really know what we're doing. We're making this up as we go. We're just going to see what we can figure out. For anyone who doesn't know what these things do, by the way, the business end of this hose pipe, you mount that up on top of your CPU, and it will freeze your CPU down to about minus 40 degrees. So this is used for extreme cooling and extreme overclocking. But in the hierarchy of cooling systems, you've got your air cooling, you've got your water cooling, then you've got phase change cooling, and then you have liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, basically.
So we're one step away from liquid nitrogen. But the interesting thing is you can't run liquid nitrogen as a daily. You can run this as a daily.
Mostly.
Yeah. As long,
it's involved, but you certainly can do.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a closed loop system and stuff like that. You don't have to constantly top it up and refill things.
Precisely.
Only possibly when stuff splits after being banged around, but we'll see.
Yeah, or when your motherboard freezes and then all of your VRMs rust.
It wasn't rust.
And in defense, that was your Aorus Master, which is the same one you're still using, right? Or is
the same model of board I am still
Never
using.
Mind. Never mind. Moving swiftly on. Let's get some side panels off. So there's a back panel to this.
Yes, I very much murdered it.
Okay, yes. In all fairness, though, I saw the pictures of that board after it came. It had been under this freezer for weeks or months.
Best part of a month.
Yeah,
and I had done none of the stuff that I should have done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start taking this back panel off while we talk.
But no, I stripped everything off. I isopropyled it and, vinegar cleaned it and stuff. And, it came back to life for a couple of weeks and then failed again. And I was just like, oh, I guess that means it needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whoop.
And then I got sent a Z490 board.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to help for your 5950X.
So I got sent a Z490 board, and I was just like, oh well, that's gone wrong. But yes, and I haven't used this on the new board.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a case where I was just kind of seeing what the maximum I could get was, and it was just a case I was just like,
I mean, like you say, it's kind of a case of technically you could run this as a daily, but it's not necessarily a good idea. Like you say, it's involved.
Yeah, it's also kind of a case of it's really not necessary.
Yeah, because that gets into the conversation of, is it worth overclocking your CPU at all? Which is actually, like a lot of people would be like, hell yeah. It's like, well, no, based on a lot of testing that you and I have done in here with high-end AMD of high-end Ryzen 5000 series CPUs, it's
involved. It's way more involved now than it ever was.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get any meaningful improvement on anything outside of competitive benchmarking. And competitive benchmarking is not daily use. It's a completely different workload.
Yeah. Also just a case of obviously you have to be so careful about just performance regression.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to actually reduce the performance when you're tweaking stuff, even though the numbers appear to be getting bigger.
Yeah. Right, if I switch to this camera, We've got a lot of light spill there, but that does show what we're dealing with from the backside here. So we'll just do a quick spin around.
I've never actually really studied this side.
No, we've only accessed... I mean, there's not a huge amount to see from this side. Most of it is from the other side. So let's just turn that around again. Whoop. So we'll just give you guys a quick rundown of what's inside this thing. Paul, hello. Welcome on in. Thanks for sending all your guys our way. Much appreciated.
There is like a fuse on there and stuff as well. So maybe it's as simple as the fuse blowing.
We should
Let's
just
pray.
check. Yeah, we should check the basics. Yeah. I think what we might want to do is just get that board out straight away for a visual inspection. But let's doing a quick tour of this thing first. So we've got a hermetic compressor here, and that compressor has got two pipes coming out of it. So we've got our evaporator pipe. So this is let me think. Let me see if I get this right. It's the evaporator pipe comes out. This is low pressure gas that is going at low pressure up to the head of it, and the low pressure, the gas expands and evaporates, which causes it to get very cold. It loses its heat as it enters a gaseous state, which freezes the actual head of the cooler, thus giving the cooling effect. Then after that, it's going to come back in to the condenser. It comes back into the... when does it come back to? Because it's got to come back in and then get compressed. Then it gets compressed and it goes into the condenser. And then because it has been condensed, it then absorbs the heat again. Am I getting this right?
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think I've got this backwards, haven't I?
Because it would... and then obviously it's dumping the heat here.
Yes.
So it's moving the heat from there to there. And then the cooled stuff effectively goes back around again.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. High pressure goes to there.
Yeah, low pressure
Come back
returns.
low pressure, gets compressed, goes through there, goes into there. I don't know which way the flow order is.
Yeah.
All I know is cold end, hot end.
Yeah, that's
apply
the gist
airflow.
Yeah. So it's a fridge basically, except instead of having coils of wire inside the fridge, it's got an evaporator head.
It's also just the fact of, if you look at like the gauge of some of the tubing and stuff, it's greatly concerning.
Yes.
It's tiny.
So then at the back end here, we've got a control board down here that's running the show. There's also a little LCD screen up here in the top right. That LCD screen and the power button, that is our visual indicators. So the control board back here, this is what we're going to take out first and inspect. It's got various sensors going into it and a couple of other things. There's also some high voltage stuff there. We've got a high voltage transformer that is giving us, a low voltage transformer that's stepping down the voltage for the control circuit. And then obviously it's providing high voltage to the compressor. We're gonna take this stuff out first and just do a visual inspection, and we'll go over what inputs and outputs it has. Ideally, we kind of want to get this into a state where we can have the board connected but out of the case so we can access it, because it's really hard to get to it while it's in the casing. And I think coming out the back might be the best way forward, because all the wiring seems to go around the back of the device, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm also just doing the thing.
Are you taking some pictures before
we start? Taking pictures before we start disassembling stuff.
Very wise.
So we can recall where stuff was plugged in. And then I'm going to do exactly the same photo from the other side.
Yeah.
With.
Will there be cider drinking on this stream? Likely. I'm drinking coffee at the moment, and then I'm probably going to be like, I'm not nearly drunk enough for this.
That and that are irrelevant, so they can get out of the way.
Greetings from Finland. Hello.
And then that can
Please measure resistance DC and AC circuit first. Yeah, we'll look through your suggestions in a minute, because we are going in basically blind, and I will appreciate suggestions and help from chat on this one. But obviously, we've got to be wary of too many cooks, so we're going to try and go through things one by one. If we're not doing something that you think we should be doing, bear with us. We'll try and get to it. So yeah, good, right. It's fantastic. We've got the large solid island in the shop to do this sort of thing. Yeah, big time. I mean, we had a brief conversation the other day when we were talking about lights, about how this island setup just enables us to just walk around and do stuff. It's very handy. I've actually got a couple of cameras set up today. We've got we've got another scuff cam down here. This is from the side, and that's just firing all the way down the bench, just so you can see that we can actually walk all the way around. So that's a thing. Right, back to the bench cam. So, does it have iCloud? Well, it would. It's probably going to create a cloud of smoke if we get something wrong. So that's the thing. So, good. Okay, so I think this board. Right, what wires are short? Basically, can we just pull the board out so it's hanging out the back of it?
I don't know.
This ribbon cable's got lots of slack.
The only bits that I've unplugged are fans.
Yeah, we can unplug that just super easily. Yeah.
Which is for some sort of temperature probe.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to pop the board off of... let me adjust the camera. That should do. So I'm going to pop the board off of these little feet so the board is actually loose, and then we can just try and see if we can work it out and get access to things.
I like that the board is actually labelled reasonably well. Like, it's just got, like, AC in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
120 in and so on. So at the very least, there's a there's a minor hope that we might actually be able to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this board is probably hand soldered. These things are going to be made in very low quantity.
Yeah.
Right, that's that
and
side.
And then you've got two on this side as well.
Yeah. I'm just going to come and have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it from this side. We'll swap sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's basically just going to be a case of just double checking all of the bits that we have, just making sure of everything. Also pulling off the screen from the front.
Yeah.
Just because there's some controllery looking bits.
Could you pass me a screwdriver? Literally anything will do. I just need a poking device.
It's a blunt object. Yeah.
Damn you, Torx! That's that one. Was there another one in the back in this corner?
Not that I can see.
Something's holding down over there. Oh, so let me come. Or where you can see from there if it's there. How's this transformer held down? That's screwed. So we might be able to take the transformer out to give ourselves more wiggle room.
I cannot see.
It might be just double-sided padded down on that side. Let me get around there, and I'm going to give it a bit of GBH. Yeah, it's double-sided pad, so that should rip off. Will it rip off? Oh no, it has got a stud. So lay it down again. I think it's behind this big-ass cap, which is really hard to see around. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. I've just spotted an angle on it. I'll jam this screwdriver into this high voltage circuitry. It'll be fine.
At least it's not plugged in and hasn't been for months.
Yeah. That might be a
require a longer one.
I think I need the tweezers. I've got to press in the little notch for it from a very odd angle. Come on, you bastard, get out. Otherwise, I might legitimately just get under and snip that one out.
Oh yeah.
There we go. I just pushed a prying tool through the double-sided pad, holding the stud down. So that's very easily sortable. Oh no, that one's gone back down, you bastard. Swap sides again. Change places.
Oh dear. Oh well, at least be well versed in all of these attaching and disconnecting.
All right, there we go. Right. So that's now able to come out. And it doesn't actually go a whole lot of anywhere, if I'm honest. We might have to undo all of the high voltage wires going into it in order to get the board out and inspect.
Maybe.
I don't know if we'll be able to run this thing externally. Let me just see if I can pull this through, actually. I can come back out
I can go
here.
like that. Hold on, where's this going? Is that going into the bottom of
What's
this?
that? Oh, that's a dead moth. That's nice.
Yeah. Are these two going into the bottom of this?
Oh, yeah, yes, they are. Yeah, so that's power to the compressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what camera angle we can really do in there.
Yeah. What
tight.
I'll do, let's... Yeah, we kind of need to be on both sides. Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that camera angles were going to be difficult for this one, so we'll just do what we can.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that's power to the compressor, and that is AC power. So presumably the compressor just, when the compressor is turned on, there's just presumably just a relay that just activates power to compressor. So something that I'm curious. So here's a question for y'all. If we just applied AC 240 volt AC to the compressor, would the head get cold? Because that would enable us to discover if the refrigeration system actually works. That is a test that I'd be very interested to run. The system has not been powered on in probably the best part of a month or so. So yeah,
probably longer than that.
Yeah, or longer. So I'm confident that the caps are all discharged.
What's that say? Oh yeah, it's literally called compressor.
Yeah, that's right. We can also get the AC plug out because we can disconnect that. Yeah. We can poke that through the case, and then that's floating.
Yeah.
And we can unscrew this from the base, I think, and then we could probably just pull the guts out and hang them out the side.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should do.
Maybe.
So I vote we turn the whole thing sideways and see if we can unscrew that transformer from the base.
Yeah. I'll flip it so it's pointing out that way.
Right, let's go to there for a sec. Let's see. Compressor has a starter via a PTC, which has 3 wires. Okay.
I think that might be what this box is.
Yeah.
Just because into that box there only appears to be live, neutral, and earth.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that box has the controller. This is probably a standalone module.
I think it's from what I remember, these compressors are effectively standalone compressors.
Yeah. So you just give it power and it starts running itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this box is presumably the starter that that Nuts and Proud is talking about then. So yeah. Cool. Right. Yeah. So if you turn the whole thing on its side then. Oh, no, cancel. They're bloody rivets.
Oh, I see.
Oh, balls. That's a shame. All right, that's unfortunate. The big box transformer at the back is riveted in, so we can't remove that unless we drill out those rivets, which we don't have the tools for. At least I don't think so.
No.
I'm assuming I don't think my Dremel's going to be man enough to go to drill out rivets like that. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
so
me. That's a shame.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, should we unscrew these connectors to pull out the wires so we can get the board out and just inspect the board?
Yeah.
Because that's the start, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's the start.
Is that good enough to get onto those screws?
Yeah, probably on this side.
Yeah. Right. You've got pictures of where all the wires go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Big flush cutter, maybe. I don't have flush cutters big enough for that, I'm afraid. Check the compressor plug. One is neutral, one is start winding via PTC, one is run winding. Yeah, there's only 2 wires going to the compressor.
Yeah, that's just live and neutral.
Yeah. So yeah, should be able to replace the controller with an Arduino, a relay, and a start CCT. You might be right. You might be right. Although, yeah, we'd have to then design and program said Arduino to be able to drive a display monitoring and other such things. But that's probably not beyond the collective ability of the community. So, word of warning: don't lay the compressor on the side. Yeah. It's okay to do it momentarily, isn't it? You just got to let them settle again first, right? What's the compressor model number? Well, while Caradog wrestles with those wires, I'll give you a close-up just so you can see what we've got. I'll just move that in there, and then I will focus.
Have you got a bigger one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
iFixit kit.
Yeah.
Bottom right, I think. There we go. That's that. There's a close-up of the compressor label. So that is it's a CCOP NL11F.
I think that's the manufacturer.
Oh right, yeah. Danfoss. Make of that what you will.
People who were around in the early 2000s self-building these will recognise that name.
And
because the only other mention of one of these I've seen anywhere was actually on an Overclockers UK forum post for someone saying how to build one of these.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. So to the bottom of that brick on the back of it, there is just a live and neutral and an earth. So there's no signal wires or anything like that. It's just literally a blue and a brown, which is going to be live and neutral.
That's yellow coming. That's a switch. So a switch, power switch.
So that's the yellow wires. Yeah, those go to the anti-vandal switch on the front.
Yeah, but I'm just intrigued that they're a switch and power switch, because there's also those two that come off of the back of the switch.
Yeah, but power switch, that is that's where we run the 12-volt input to, I think, isn't it?
No, that's the check 12.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, good question. Yeah. I mean, we've never had anything plugged into there, if my memory serves me.
No, these two.
Oh, I see, yeah. Okay.
But I'm just intrigued as to how a switch has this number of wires coming off of it.
Yeah. I'm just going to check what that switch is doing. Has it got an LED on it? Yeah, the switch has an LED. So,
right.
My guess is the yellows are the switch, and the red and the black are the LED to illuminate the LED when it's powered on.
Yeah.
So that'll be it. Do. No, cut the blue wire. Yeah. Right, let's see if I can catch up. They also made thermostats for heavy water things. LP Master worked as a HVAC tech for a while. Oh, rad. Cool. So we do actually have some HVAC folks in here. Nice. Groovy. As I say, I don't know how much we're going to be able to do here. We're not experts and we don't have a lot of resources for this available to us. But as I say, we're banking on this being an electronics issue, mainly because, as far as we're concerned, there's no reason for it to be an issue with the compressor itself. Although, again, I'm speaking out of ignorance here. Right, should we take a look at that board? Anything interesting you're seeing? Oh, just the state of those. Oh, it could be. Is this going to be a really short stream? I mean, I'd be glad if it is. All right, let me show you guys what we're seeing here.
I would be very pleased if that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, considering how we're in way over our heads with this thing, like we are hilarious. We've got no idea what we're doing. If it's as easy as what we've just seen, that'd be awesome. Right, stand by, everyone. I'm adjusting the camera. Right, I've got my camera on the other side of the bench today, so excuse me if everything is a bit wonky. Right, I need to flip this camera so it makes sense to me. Right, Brio. Let's see. Transform, rotate 180.
There you go.
All right, and let's give a big old close-up of this guy. Focus is coming, so bear with me. See, when you're recording videos, you can spend 5 minutes getting the camera angle correct, and then you unpause the recording, and you pretend like it's just been put right. All right, so here is our control board. Here is our control board. So it is a Little Devil version 1.1. So we've got a thermocouple input here. We've got all of our power inputs here. We've got AC in, transformer input. So and then we've got the compressor connection there. Then we've got a 12 volt input there as well. However, more importantly, the other inputs we've got switch. So this is the power switch on the front of the unit that switches the whole unit on. Power SW, we think this is the on LED for the power switch. This is normally not connected. Check 12 volts. This is where it's getting that 12 volt check signal from the PC itself, so it knows when to switch on and start chilling. Then, more importantly though, we've got these MOSFETs here, and on the back, wah, wah, wah. That doesn't look too good to me. That looks very problematic. So that might be our issue right there.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So my inclination at this point is that we just reflow all of those joins, plug it all in, and see if it runs.
Yeah, that'd certainly be a starting point.
So yeah, no USB connection. This is a completely independent device.
Although,
it manages itself. Or you've got a USB connection.
Here
there.
it says USB.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing somehow with all of this. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
you know what?
be
That's
that.
a USB header.
Yeah.
That's literally a USB header, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it actually says
And
USB
it says
on the
USB
board.
on the board.
Yeah. Although we have no software for this. Is there any software downloads on the Little Devil website?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah. So,
I'll have another look.
I mean, if we get this thing running, this might be a very interesting challenge to the community to see if we can figure out some kind of USB interface to this.
Yeah.
I mean, not that. I mean, as I say, this is a completely custom-built unit, so it's not going to be a lot of use to anyone else. But that would be kind of interesting.
Oh yeah. What, and then effectively communicating with one of these?
Maybe, yeah. And let's take a look at what those chips are, just so people can start squirreling away at that. Let me just get the camera in. This arm is not working for me right now. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, not for this, but
Yeah,
for stuff
however,
like this. Yeah.
Right. Hang on a sec. I'm going in for the big close-up shot for those chips. In it comes. And le focus.
There you go.
There we go. Right. So we've got an FTDI 1133C GN101221. Take your screenshots now, everyone. What is that? We've got another one there. CY8C29466. Take your screenshots. See what that is. And is there anything else? That guy looks a little bit sideways as well. But then this is a hand. I'm 99% certain this whole board is hand soldered. Again, custom device.
Yeah, there you go. Can you get an angle in like that?
Yeah. Oh, cool. You've got. Okay, hang on a sec. We've got more stuff to show you now. Let me just adjust him.
Yeah, let me know where you want this.
Right, I'm going to flip the camera again. Transform. Flip. Bam. Right, and here's the inside of that box. So this is going to be that PTC, we reckon. Yeah, here's what we found in there.
That says not massively blown
yeah,
out.
so that's the inputs we've got there. So obviously there's something that's our starter box, if that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, if you pull that back out, I'll just spin it around so you can see in the other side as well.
And we're coming in from the other side.
Just because, yeah, there is a
that's a contact or something, yeah. So we've also got. There we go.
Okay, that's a better.
How about that?
For it. Yeah.
Getting right in there.
And if I just do that.
There we go. So that's what we've got going on the back of the compressor. Right. So now we've got. Now we've got those shots. I'm going to pull out and back read the chat just so I can see what you guys make of all of that lot.
Yeah, because that's the PTC and stuff.
Yeah. Right. All right. I'm just going to pull the camera out so it's not getting blinded by the lights. Blinded by the sun. Right, okay, so.
I'm just going to recenter this on the map.
Let's see. So we've got a USB controller, state the tracks. You'd be tempted to make a relay baseboard. Yeah. A USB to RS232 chip. That makes sense. Yeah. Let's see the power ICs on the back with the corroded pins. Okay, stand by. Big white thing is the PTC. Yeah, that makes sense. Windows will recognize it without any drivers, most likely. I suppose, but then obviously we need to.
What?
Yeah, that's just it.
I guess.
We need to talk to it via a serial interface, and I mean, if you know serial programming, then obviously you can start talking to it, I guess. But yeah, PTC runs the start winding for a minute, and then runs the winding after that. Yeah, so presumably that is because the PTC will. Let me think. So PTCs they start low resistance and then they heat up. And go high resistance. So that is that gets a big inrush current to get the thing moving, and then it regulates it. If my understanding is correct. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong there. Show us the IC with the corroded pins. All right, we're going back to the board.
Yeah, and as someone said there, if we apply power to the blue and the brown, it should start working.
All right, so if we're brave enough to jump some 240 wires onto that. Theoretically, we can just jump start the compressor and see if it starts chilling. So let's get a look at the power components, and then we'll come back to that.
I thought the PTC was only a 220 rated one, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a shame.
Most stuff that's 220 rated will take 240 though, won't it? So,
yeah, but it was just the fact I was just like, I looked at it and just immediately went, oh.
Yeah.
But no, it's a 240 rated one. I just misread the model number.
Here come the power chips. So is this guy... So I can't get a good angle on these guys. Let's see. Hang on a sec. Let me adjust the camera again. I think I can get you guys closer. I'll go to there. And if I come around to here... and get right in there... Right, so we've got a JMO 4A-BE3 LM2599T. Get your screen cap now. And then the other side, we've got... What are you? Can I get behind that cap and see that? I'm going to just turn it sideways, so you'll have to read it sideways. That's a TI there. What's that? OBMNCEE? TL780. That'll be it, I think. TL780. And yeah, that guy looks really unpleasant down the bottom there. That guy looks really unhappy.
Which way round was that in there? That was that way round. So it was under there.
And that's that connection again. So that's super corroded, that. I don't know what's happened there. There were some dead bugs in here, so maybe some bug has just dumped its guts in there and just messed up all those joins.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks really unhappy. Those are super dry, those joints. All right.
Lovely. So yeah. So what do we have to semi-safely jump power into this?
I'm trying to think what answer to that I'm brave enough to do on a live stream.
So the answer is nothing. Okay, that's fine.
Right, hang on a sec. No, let me think.
Because if I take that out of the way, we have, just these two connectors.
Okay, so what I can do, I could get a figure of 8 lead, lop the figure of 8 off, strip the wires, and we could
just shove the figure of 8 lead on me.
Oh God, we could. I mean, yeah. Why not? I mean, if we just wrap the thing in electrical tape so we can just stand back when we plug it in. Okay, right. Okay, we need to get some opinions here, you guys, because we're going to do some sketchy stuff. And I need to get... I want to get your approval before we do sketchy stuff.
Although, I'm also decidedly more on board with the fixing up the dodgy stuff on here.
Yeah, should we do that first?
And trying that.
Let's do that first.
That is my absolute preferred method.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, let's do that first because we've every reason to believe that this is going to fix it. And if that fixes it, we don't need to be really sketchy with the 240-volt input. So yeah. I'm not Big Clive, you know.
Whilst I'm not dramatically...
And I'm not Electro Boom either.
Whilst I'm not dramatically scared of 240-volt, I'm also aware that it requires significantly more caution than the caution I throw to 24-volt and 12-volt.
That's just it. Like, low voltage, I'm fearless with because I know that like anything below 50 volts, you'll be fine. However, as soon as you start getting into like 50 volt plus, it's like, okay, now we're getting into voltage that can actually penetrate my skin. I'm now scared, kind of thing. So yeah. All right, let's do that. Okay. Don't do that. It's going to get hot and burn the motors. Okay. Righto. Fine. Good. All right. This is why we need you guys here. So, right. Okay. Let's reflow those joins then and just see if it comes good then. Let's see. Have we checked compressor windings? We haven't done those yet. We'll reflow these joins and then we'll take some measurements on the compressor. We're going to need you guys to tell us what that looks like though, because I've got no idea what kind of measurements we should see from those windings.
I'm also just going to extract the screws.
Yeah. However, I'm more than happy to get you guys some more information. I'd hate to see you guys working on a CRT. I wouldn't work on a CRT. Like I said,
I absolutely would in the context of someone else who has worked on it telling me what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
But like my own blind blundering, no thanks.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm going to move my
enjoy
camera.
being alive.
Right, I'm going to move that up to there, and we'll reflow these joints.
Yeah.
So now everyone can shout at me that my soldering sucks. Right.
Very well.
Everyone can get angry that I'm not using enough flux and all sorts. Right. Let's get a look at this then.
I'm also going to steal a stool.
Yes, I just yeah. I don't know where the other black ones go. They all move around. Right. Let's see. Right. Let's go back to the bench cam. And let's transform, rotate. I should have a rotated version of this, but we're experimenting with different camera angles today. Right. Have I got that wrong? Yes, I have got that wrong. Or it didn't rotate, one of the two. We're working on the squeaky stools, by the way. There's a plan in action for that. Bear with us. All right, let's see. Compressor winding resistance data sheet. Oh, rad. Winston Wolf has DM'd us some stuff.
Oh, cool.
So yes,
I'll check that now.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. I'll just grab the. Shall I grab the laptop? Is that worth doing?
Kind of, if you want.
No, you can get it from your phone, can't you? There we go. David Hosbrough says our sources confirm that the Brits are indeed at it again. Right, hang on a sec. Let me turn on my soldering iron. Right, so I'm just going to reflow all these joins. I'm going to flow some fresh solder and some fresh flux on there. Then I think I should actually desolder and remove that. Or well, let's just flow some stuff and see what state it's in. Right, let's drop to, I don't know, 340 for that because it's a double-sided board. Ooh. Let's have a look.
Ah, yes, the software for Max, as in M-A-X, not Max, as in M-A-C.
Oh, right, yeah. Flux. All right. Okay, let's go. Right. So I'm just going to dive in here and reflow this. Let's get some.
There you go. Oh boy. I'm looking at this and instantly going.
Not do anything, right?
And instantly just kind of going. Ah, yes.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a data sheet with a lot of numbers on it.
And it's like, oh, good. Data sheet.
Yeah. Balls, hang on a sec. I need to put this in a vice. It's moving around.
Interestingly, its power usage goes down the colder the compressor is.
Yes, that's the PTC in action, I think.
So the more cold it is, the less energy it uses.
Yeah, because if my understanding is correct, then the PTC is essentially acting as a regulator.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god. Oh, interesting.
Let's try and do this in a less noisy way.
Increases. Huh. I'm looking at this, and apparently the capacity increases it the less minus the head is. So the amount of heat it can move, I presume.
Yeah, because the higher the potential difference is, the more efficiency it will be. Sorry, the higher the difference in temperature.
The lower the amount of heat it can move, apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Yeah. Unless that's just some way it's been configured or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I've got this thing at a better position. I can actually hopefully be a bit more competent with it. Oh, it's basically a timer on the start winding. Okay. Right. Let's see. Okay, right, here we go. We're going in with the soldering iron again, just try and reflow these joints. Wah.
There should be an 80 farad capacitor.
80 farad?
What?
That's a lot.
Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. No, microfarad. Yes,
Okay.
That makes way more sense.
Yes.
I initially looked at that and was just like...
An 80 farad
"Excuse
capacitor
me?"
would be the size of the whole chassis.
Yeah, I was just like, excuse me? So where's this capacitor supposed to be?
Right, let's pull out a load of that solder now. I just drowned it in solder just to try and pull out all of the burn out all of the sludge from that.
G, protection screen. See, yeah.
Okay.
There's some pinny bits on that, right?
Yeah. Nuts and Proud was like, 80 farads too high. Yes. Yes, that would approximately blow up your car.
What?
It's a lot of energy, man. Good. Okay. Right.
Oh, all good. We're live. Thanks, YouTube.
Right. Am I going to try and get down there? We've had.
That's the strain relief, and that's the that, right? Okay, that's that. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Trying to decide whether to do anything about that side of the board or not. We've got some nice solid connections on this bottom though. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Cap and PTC box. Oh, the cap will be in the PTC box somewhere. It's probably in the probably
I'm just
enclosed.
I'm trying to work out how these pictures
correspond to what you're looking at.
to actually what's physically present.
Fair enough.
And I think they don't.
I'm going to quickly wash this in alcohol just so I can have a look at it.
Yeah. I think they don't exactly, which is why I'm slightly confused.
Different revisions, maybe?
Oh, no, they do. I'm just... Right. Yeah, that's fine. The pictures are showing different things at different states of disassembly, effectively.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
That's the problem with the data sheet, is it's almost got too much information on it, and you need to figure out how to interpret the data sheet.
Apparently there should be a light bulb in here.
Interesting. Okay, right. Having alcohol washed that, this thing is looking a lot better. So let's do a close-up on that, and you guys can tell me whether you think that's good enough for Australia or not. And closer. There we go. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Those look an awful lot more healthy than they did before.
Oh.
I mean, the bottom of the leg looks a little bit tarnished, but yeah, we've actually got some solder joints there now, so I think that should be fine. Whoop. Struth, mate. Yeah. There we go. That's our other side. So this is the flux has gone through from there. Let me just see if I can get in there with the alcohol and wash that clear.
Tries to not move on chair.
Yeah, I've still got a lot of Australianisms in me from when I watched a lot of EEV blog, and obviously he is the most Australian man ever to Australia. So, all right. There we go. So those guys, that side, it's not great, but it's going to be a pain in the ass to get in there properly. I mean, I can get in there if you guys really think I should, but I don't know. I think those sides look good enough to me. I think that'll be passable. Said the stalls would be gone this week. I do not recall it saying any such thing. If I did, then I deny that, and we're retconning that. So yeah. Hot air it. It'll be a little bit, but not too high. Yeah. I think we're going to try it. Solder tip to retouch. Yeah. I'm going to go for it, I think. Right.
I think what I am going to do is grab the paintbrush though and just sweep the bits from under where the board was.
Very well. There is a selection of paintbrush eye.
Brushy,
Alright.
brushy.
I'm going to move this guy again.
Oh look, there is some tide marks.
Some tide marks. Interesting.
There as well.
I don't know what the hell happened to that thing.
No.
Yeah. I mean, unless... No. I was going to say, unless it just vented its refrigerant all over the inside, and that made a puddle that then evaporated. But, yeah, I can't believe that that could have happened without anyone noticing.
Especially given that it was sat in your shop at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was sitting on the bench behind me for a long period, so, yeah.
Well, yeah, between the period it was working and the period it wasn't, it was just sat there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Holes are plated through. No need to solder the top. Yeah, that's fine. There any way to externally test a laptop screen is working? I'm not sure. There's going to be methods of doing that. You can get, if you search online, you can get like HDMI to LVDS boards and stuff like that, which would allow you to connect a laptop screen to a HDMI output. That would probably be how I would approach that. So yes, windings, common start to resistance and common to run resistance should be equal to the start to run resistance. Okay, fair enough.
The what to the what should be what?
Yeah, I'm going to read that again more carefully in a sec. Okay, yeah. So the common to start and the common to run should be the same as the start to run. So you're saying they should... So all 3 points should be equal, is what I'm getting from that.
So that one is the common. I just don't know how I'd measure the resistance to anything when it's covered by this.
Yeah.
Unless I'm supposed to be able to take that off.
We're going to need to break that box open. Let's go.
I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to. Certainly not right now.
Yeah, I think we should hook it all up and just see if it runs before we go any further.
That's going to be my suggestion.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So that's...
Are you confident in your ability to plug this all back in?
Maybe.
Good, that's a volunteer. Right, okay.
Am I confident?
There you go.
No.
Right, let's see.
Right, where did these red ones go?
I see it being possible, with the way the pipes are routed, that condensation ran down the pipes and dripped in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's plausible, isn't it? Because one of those pipes is going to get cold, isn't it? Although, surely the cold pipe will be the one with all the insulation around it, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but again, you know, LP being a HVAC guy, if that's what he says, I'll take your word for that. You'll need to remove the starter box to measure the windings properly. Yeah, okay. They're usually only clipped on. Fine. We're going to plug it all in and see if it runs first, just to see if it's that easy, because we've found a fault and fixed it. If we plug it all in and it still doesn't run, then we'll go from there. The control board is fused, so I'm fairly confident that we can risk turning it on. Although, that much being said, apparently one screw in the PTC board should come off, so...
In the PTC board?
Yeah.
Dunno. Possibly that one under there, but I have no idea.
Alright. Yeah. We're going to plug it in and see what it does. So, yeah. We'll plug it in and we'll see what it does. And if it still doesn't run, then we'll start diagnosing the compressor. Doo-doo. Whoop. Let me get a better overview. Let's see. What we need is a 5-second delay on the feed and a big red kill button. Oh, okay. So I'm just reading through these measurements again. So if the common to run is 2 ohms and the common to start is 3 ohms, then the run to start should be 5 ohms total. I think I understand what you're saying now. I'd have to go through that slowly, but yeah, I see what you're going with.
Oh, there's 2 black and red. Those black and red go there in the blue. I have no idea how you would have conceived this as a good idea as a design for making them.
It does look like the board was not designed with the chassis in mind. They probably designed the board and stuff like that, and then was just like, right, now we need to put this in a box, instead of starting out with the box and designing the layout of the system before designing the board. I think they designed this the wrong way around, basically.
Oh, unless the only other thing I thought of is obviously because this is riveted, unless they just built it on this plate and then riveted this piece on top.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Because obviously at some point they would have had to plumb all of the actual refrigeration system in there, which would have been a pain in the ass to do in situ, I'd imagine.
Yeah. What else we got that we actually care about? Oh yeah, these 2. So it should be those 2. And that should then go...
So just double checking, but there are 2 sets of black and red wires.
Yes.
Are you confident you've got those the right way round?
Black cap, white cap.
Oh,
Black
yes.
cap,
very good.
White cap.
Yep, yep, good. Excellent. Let's see. It's like watching the classic movie Juggernaut, waiting for the bang.
Does the blue one go on the top? The blue one goes on the top.
Cool. All right. Let's see.
Do you have a large wooden stick?
A large wooden stick? What, to turn it on from far away?
Yes, just so there can be a 5-meter exclusion.
I think you need to be lower than that. There you go. Yeah. We're into the realms of what's worse than fumbling with something is watching someone else fumble with something.
Oh, that's not even
See.
there. What? Go in.
Freezing unit looks very similar to the ones that plumbers use to freeze pipes. Yeah, I mean, as we were saying earlier on that a compressor unit like this is a very modular thing that was available for use in all kinds of projects, kind of thing. So it's not surprising that this is probably a familiar unit that's used in all kinds of weird specialist equipment.
There you go, cool.
Good. All right. So we need the power switch plugged in, and
so of these running from the switch, are we assuming that those 2 are switch?
We can test this very easily. We'll just do a quick continuity test just as a sanity check. So if I grab that, can you reach around to the power button?
No.
All right. Heading around to the power button, and we should get a beep. Yep. Cool. So yellow is the power switch then, and the red and black will be the power LED. So we could probably plug those in for funsies, because those clearly go to the power switch. Although, to be honest, we kind of know when it's turned on, because the screen lights up as well.
Yeah, so which one do we think is the switch? Do we think switch
Yellow.
is switch, or do we think power switch is switch?
Oh, God, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. What was it previously plugged in, or did we not catch that? I think it was plugged into switch.
I think it was power switch.
Okay, yeah. It'll be very... We'll know if it doesn't work, because if we plug it in, we turn it on, and we push the power button and nothing happens...
Ah, yes. That is not a circuit board. It is, in fact, a Princess Tiara cake.
Very nice.
It was the furthest away.
Furthest away. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Was that one?
Yeah. Oh, these units are identical to the ones used for small chest freezers and water chillers. Fair enough. Cool. Right, so we'll leave the LED disconnected for now because we don't normally have that in anyway. The plus, yeah, K is minus, K for cathode.
Yeah, so it's actually that way around.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that's our compressor head temperature sensor.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and we're going to need a 12-volt source, which we'll grab our 12-volt source from just the bench power supply. Or do you want to plug it into a PC?
No. We'll just leave it without a 12-volt, and it should error.
Yeah.
If it doesn't error, we know that then we have not fixed it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Cool. All right. Are we ready then? Yep. Okay. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to see if it works. Whoop. All right, let's bring that over to there.
Is that just a 3-pin for that fan? Yeah, that's a 3-pin for that fan. That doesn't need to be plugged in.
All right, is that plugged in? Yeah, okay, so mains power is engaged. Let's move the tools away, and what we'll do, let's just turn it around so the camera can see the front screen, if that's doable.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, cool. Okay, I'm going to spin this around. All right, there we go. So what we're expecting to see when we turn it on is the front screen should display a no 12-volt error. So yeah, okay, right. I think we're set. Hold your hats. You saw a spark. Massive spark. Oh, was there?
Yeah. Because obviously it will see that plugging in on that side.
Yeah, that was just arc from the plug going in. Well, not from the board, surely. Big flash from the circuit board. All right. From the board, definitely from the board, not from the not from where the C13 plugs in at the back. All right, stand by. We just unplugged it. Yeah. That's the relay.
Yeah, the relay.
Yeah, it was the relay clicking. It was the relay, so it's all good. Yeah. Oh. You guys had me scared. I was like, if there was I heard nothing. There we go. It was the relay. It was the relay. We're fine. Okay, right. So we're on the countdown. So after the countdown, it should give us the 12-volt error. So 1, 2, 3. Can we get a better view of that? Yeah. So now, unfortunately, we've got to sit around like lemons for 3.5 minutes.
I think you want the camera to be lower and looking up at the screen, so it gives it slightly better contrast.
Yeah, okay.
I think. Does it? Oh yeah, fractionally.
Yeah, we'll go for that.
Yeah. But also, the actual chiller hasn't started. And it normally makes noise.
Some kind of noise by now, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's entirely possible that triode or whatever it is just stone dead, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's wait for the timeout and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. And, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we don't have high hopes because we're not getting any noise from the system at all. And normally there is a background, like there's the idle hum, where it's just sort of in standby mode kind of thing. And it's making no noises at all. So what we might have here is that the control electronics have lit up, but the high voltage side is not doing anything. That's our current guess. Meter the AC output on the PCB. Yeah, I mean, we've got 2-minute wait. Yeah, okay. So meter the, let's see. Meter the AC output on the PCB. All right.
Which will be the brown and blue at the back, basically right next to the relay.
Brown and blue, yeah, next to the relay. Okay, right, let's swap sides a sec. Oh, no, not range. There we go. There we go, AC, that's what I'm after. Bam. Okay, there's no power going to the compressor at the moment. So brown and blue to the compressor is currently at 0.
That should be 240 as mains.
Yes, there is 240 volt
Yeah.
mains going into the control board. And
I
we
think
know
you just killed it.
Oh. Well, the countdown's still going, so
What?
I'm going to stop probing it at the moment. Let's just see what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sing a song. Yeah. It can't be that obviously the internal 12 volt supply is working because the actual control circuits are up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, let's wait 20 seconds. Shields on. Yeah. The data got corrupted to the display. Something along that, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
No. Oh, well.
Told me to cut the blue wire. You did. You did say that. All right. Here we go. 7, 6. I'm going to stand here so I have some metal between me and the device.
You say... Oh, okay.
All right.
Fine.
Okay. Now, the problem is, I have a suspicion this is where we were previously.
Yeah.
It has not given the 12 volt error, and
Yeah.
the evaporator head is not chilling.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's doing this. The problem is, this is exactly where we were when we started. So this doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
All right. So there is power going to the compressor now.
Yeah.
But it's not at... Like, the compressor has an idle and an actual compressing thing.
Yeah.
That's all we know. Okay, right, let's see. Reading through the chat. Right. Measure the compressor wires.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, because it should have errored.
Yeah, and also that's the other problem, is that it's not giving us the no 12 volt error, which it should do.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the other reason. So yeah, okay. The compressor runs, but no cooling. This means you've got a leak and a likely out of gas. All right. So yeah, we're back onto just no gas then.
Yeah.
But again,
then
the question is why
is it
no
not
12
giving
volt?
the 12 volt
Yeah.
error?
I mean, unless it's waiting for the compressor to respond before it then gives the no 12 volt error. Like, it's checking the compressor, and then after it's checked if the compressor is okay, then it checks for 12 volts. Maybe it's just doing its startup routine in a different order to how we expect.
Yeah.
And it's basically it might be that what it's doing now is going, can I actually run? I can run. Okay, is the computer turned on? But we're not getting that far.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. It cools a little. Yeah, I mean, if we wait long enough, the evaporator head is going down in tiny increments, but yeah.
It should be at like minus 30 by now.
Yeah, that's right. The temperature should plummet when it's working properly. It doesn't take this long to get started. So, all right. So, okay, so we're moving on to gas leak then, which was the other possible thing that it could have been. All right, so next question then. Can we, as laymen, start looking for a gas leak?
Yeah.
Put a little bit of heat on the evaporator. Yeah.
Remove the cap from the
Shroud valve.
shroud?
Yeah, have we got a fill valve? Is that our fill valve?
I
do you
presume
think?
so, yeah.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let's move the camera around. I'll leave it running for a sec, just because we can. Whoop. Whoop, thank you. So, question then. So, is this guy our fill valve, do you think? Wrapped in the shrink wrap. Yeah. If there was a leak, surely all the gas would have leaked out by now. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so how do we approach this guy then? I mean, I can cut off that shrink wrap and see what we've got underneath it. 134 size. That's the service fill valve. Yeah, okay. So, should I cut off this shrink wrap then so we can get further access to that and inspect it? Because then, if it's a shrouder valve like the tire valve, we can then give that a bit of a poke and just see if there's any pressure there at all.
Yeah.
Look for oil leaks. Yeah, we haven't seen any oil leaks or any sort of moisture or any other kind of liquid anywhere else in this thing.
The only mark we've got is this one right here.
Yeah.
But then there doesn't appear to be a corresponding one on this.
Yeah. Need someone with a gauge. Yeah, okay. However, yeah, I mean, is it safe for us to give the valve a poke and just see if there's any pressure there and just go on it? Is that something we can do? Right, Alistair, I'm gonna grab a knife and just cut off that shrink wrap.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yes, very quickly. Yep. Normal for these valves to slightly leak, and these small systems will need recharging over time. Yeah. So it's possible that it was low the last time it was being used, and it's just dipped low enough to the point where it can't function anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Okay, right. Oh, that's thick stuff. Which makes sense. Okay, right, let's try that again. Enough to get in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. There's our valve.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, right. So the system is still on. So should I shut it down before doing anything right now? Or should we leave it on just so the compressor is running, trying to build some pressure? And yes, no, we're not going to inhale the gas. Don't worry. It's
also probably only 134A.
Yeah.
And 134A is green gas for airsoft guns.
Oh
yes,
I remember you told me that before. Yeah.
So it's a case of, in the scale of things, it's just like
rewrap when done. Condensation will form. Will do. Yeah. Cool. Okay, Are we shutting down before we try and leak test this? I think we should. However, I'm kind of waiting because we're flying 100% blind right now. I'm kind of waiting for advice on that one. Compressor's got a thermocouple inside the compressor. If it's too hot, the compressor doesn't start. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a rubber cap in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Very well. That's cool.
Shut it down if it's low. If you keep running it, the compressor might pull the vacuum, which can kill it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to shut it down then. Right, so it's hissing away. Okay, so I'm going to give it a poke. Here we go. Okay, there was a tiny amount of hiss there, but like really small.
Yeah.
It was literally like a shh, shh. It wasn't actually going psh, like a pressurized system should do. That was really small. So, so the question is then, so there was a tiny, but that sounded really low to me. Like your flat car, if your car tire is flat and you push the valve, it's going to hiss slightly as well. Well, doesn't mean it's got pressure.
A flat car tire hisses more than that.
Yeah. So that was super low. Yeah. Okay. So are we going to start trying to look for leaks, or are we just going to say we need to try and regas this?
Well, I think we need to try and regas it first, because obviously you can't check for leaks if there's nothing to leak.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's already basically at ambient.
Yeah.
There is no leak.
So the second question is, are we going to take this to a car shop that does AC regassing and say, can you shove some gas into this?
Yeah,
some 134, or do we reckon it can run on 134A, which means we can get a gas canister ourselves and hook it up?
It depends, because I can't remember what the difference is.
Yeah.
So I know one of them is with lubricant and one of them is non-lubricant, and it depends on whether it's a lubricated or non-lubricated doodad, if I remember.
Yeah.
My reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. However, yeah, because you guys are right that it should be sort of tested somehow, and again, this is something that an air conditioning shop will be able to do.
Yeah.
So we got to take this to a garage and get it leak tested, haven't we?
Yeah, basically.
Or at the very least, say to them, look, we've got this refrigeration system. It's run out of gas. Can you do a basic vacuum pressure test on it? So all right. HVAC guy will put a leak dye in it and find the leak with a UV light. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Right, so I think in that case, so we're pretty much done with this for the time being then, because we need to take it to a shop who can try and regas it for us.
Absolutely.
But we've done some tests, so it looks like that triac was probably okay. I mean,
it was in a state of functioning.
Yeah, it was probably in a state of functioning, and our issue is just low gas then.
Yeah.
So, we looked at that, but also having taken it apart, we've gotten a better understanding of what's inside there, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yes. I think so. Yeah, we could get a can of 134A with dye in it. We could get that ourselves. I'm inclined to take it to a car shop who does it, not a triac. Okay, sorry, someone said triac earlier on. So yeah, I think we'll take it to a car place because they will be very familiar and they will be able to do in 5 minutes what will take us 3 hours. So, so yeah. Oh, it was an LDO. Fair enough. Yeah. Don't use garage. Find a proper HVAC company. Does such a thing exist? Oh, well, I mean, I guess such a thing does exist in the UK. They're not lying around here, though. That's the problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to do some research. We're in semi-rural Dorset, and this is the UK. People don't have air conditioning in this country. So
not a great deal.
Yeah, the only air conditioning you'll find is commercial systems. So, that's surprisingly difficult to do, I think. Yeah, we'd have to see if we can find a small AC company that looks at small shops that have AC services. That must be a thing that exists, but
yeah, probably.
Man, I don't know how much they're going to charge, though.
Yeah. No, I have no idea.
Yeah. You're an AC engineer as well. Okay, that's fair. And yeah, we do have a local butchers. So yeah, they might have a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, commercial place will have all the kit. They will. Yeah. Okay. I suppose we should talk to them first and just see what options. But that's the thing is, a commercial place is probably going to turn around and say, "Cool, that'll be 500 quid, please." And we're going to be like,
maybe.
Are we going to spend 500 quid to get this thing looked at? I've no idea how much they charge. If I'm honest, I literally have no idea. So yeah, at some point you got to take the dog behind the barn and shoot it. That's exactly what I'm worried about. Is that if we've got to take this to a commercial AC company for diagnostic, what are they going to charge for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, as you plugged it in, the spark you guys saw on the board was coming from here. That is a relay, and yes, that relay will make a spark when it clicks on, because it's a relay. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, refrigerator engineer will probably be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recharging the AC of a car. That's why I'm inclined to talk to a local garage. Like, I appreciate that an AC company is the correct option for this. Just again, I don't know what options we have for that in England.
No, but at least it's an actual avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that option. I like this option.
I was about to say, I didn't realise you were in the country, Spectrum. Yeah. You're heading this way in April.
Very well.
I was going to say, yeah, like if you're actually heading our way and you are an AC engineer and you know how to approach this, then yes, that's legitimately something I'm very interested in. Yeah. All right. Are we putting this on the shelf until April then?
Yeah.
Spectrum, do you want to come and fix this? I'm serious. Yeah. Yeah, we're in business there. Local fridge repair company would do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we've got options there, and yeah, Spectrum. If you're legitimately in the area in April and can look at it, then that's actually a very viable solution to us. Because that's the thing. We're seeing ideas here, and we're like, yes, that's a very sensible idea, and that would work. However, we're just trying to consider what's economically viable for us, because this is just something we're dicking around with. Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Do you just want to switch it over to Live Gamer just on the full cam, because we don't need the close cam right now? On the left. Yeah, the one below. That's the one. There we go.
I can read words.
Yeah. So yeah, Relay does not always create a spark, but it does on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, fair enough. I'm in the habit of assuming that anyone on an internet chat is very far away from me and can't help other than with words. However, Spectrum, if you're actually a local chat I'll rephrase that. If you're actually going to be in the North Dorset area, then that's actually an incredible opportunity for us.
Yeah, but as LP Master says, since it still has a positive pressure, we could try and recharge it.
Yeah.
But obviously, the advice is not to.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Given that we're two idiots who don't know what we're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also a case of, because it's like £1,000 to buy a new one.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth saving. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because it's like £1,000 for a new one, and they're so hard to buy, I'm less inclined to do it. If it was a case of it's £1,000 and I can have one from Amazon tomorrow, I'd be way more willing to mess around with it.
Yeah.
But
that's
because
the
it's basically impossible to get one without building it yourself.
Yeah, even if you have the money, it's difficult to buy one of these things. Where like you say, so that makes sense. You're from Norfolk. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing you've got family or business down in this direction then. So yeah. Are you on the Discord, Spectrum? Or can you be on the Discord? Just so you can DM Caradog or myself or something like that, and then we can organise. Just figuring out the best way of communication there. The valve which is on your unit is different from a car valve, so may have trouble at a garage. Okay, yeah. You're also an AC engineer, but you're in the Midlands. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And yes, he is. Yep, that's great. Cool. All right. Make yourself known to us in the Discord just so we can actually get in contact. Getting a pot on LN2 is the best way to go. It is if you want extreme cooling, but
I'm interested in that, but it's kind of a case of
I want to do it at some point just so I've experienced doing LN2 cooling. But it's kind of
a case of I want you to finish the shop first.
Yeah.
So then you've got the space to have all the stuff.
Yeah. LN2 cooling is something that I'd like to do at some point just so I can say I've done LN2 cooling before. Yeah. However, the other thing as well is that, as I say, this thing gets you very, very close to LN2
It gets
levels.
you minus 40, but it only has like 200 watts of heat capacity.
Yeah.
Which is actually really low.
Yes, this is true. But the fact that it gets you such a massive drop in temperature, though, it's enough to get you into subambient cooling, which is enough to make the silicon do weird things. Because
absolutely. No, entirely. Yeah. But it's just a case of, obviously, there's such a huge step between that and LN2
true.
Because LN2's capacity is way higher.
Yeah, that's
Do you
fair.
want to just...
Oh, yeah, stick that on. Yep, very well.
We might as well stick that back on, because we don't need it off.
Yeah, cool.
So that's fine.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, and just pop the cover back up, and then we're done.
Yeah.
With that, basically, aren't we?
Yeah, very good. Okay, what's the timer on? Where are we up to? 1.5 hours. Okay. Okay, we'll put this back together again, and then we'll sit around. We'll sit around and talk for a bit, and then we'll wrap up. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll be good to finish on 2 hours.
Yeah.
So bit of a disappointing end that essentially nothing that we've done here has actually really achieved anything. But we have at least got a greater understanding of the unit, because we kind of just left this to one side, and we were just like, let's get in contact with Little Devil, just so we can and just see if we can learn more about it. Because if we managed to get a response from them, the idea was that they might turn around and say, yes, we can provide information about this, we can provide spare parts for this, we can provide a new controller board for this, then at that point we could have started talking to them to get a plan. But obviously that was a dead end, so we were like, fine, okay, we're going to look into this ourselves then, so let's actually take it apart.
Yeah, as Matt says, you can obviously regulate the pot temperature to like -50.
Okay, yeah.
Or go full pot to like, what, -260-ish.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you've effectively got better temperature control. It's also, you've got just a 1 kilo lump of frozen copper.
Yeah.
And just kind of, you have a whole bunch of temperature control there, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd kind of want to do it when it's a little bit warmer so we can just have both doors open.
Yes.
Because, the whole thing of just randomly evaporating like 200 litres of nitrogen.
Yeah.
Whilst this is a large space, it's not 200 litres of nitrogen space.
And as many people have observed, I don't have an air extraction system.
Yeah.
Just because, and I mean, until recently, like the past year, I haven't done enough stuff to warrant it. Although I've got videos of doing soldering work and stuff like that, typically I only have the iron on, for 10 or 15 minutes every other day, maybe. So, like if I was soldering all day, every day, of course. But most of the time, I don't really do enough to warrant having a proper air extraction system.
Yeah.
However, we are we're slowly heading in that direction where it's like, actually, it's worth getting the air filtration for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially as now you've actually got drop ceilings and stuff, so you can actually run stuff.
This is true. It just wasn't practical to be doable in the old shop, whereas many things are possible in this space.
Did you actually work out how much bigger this shop was than your old shop?
No, but I'm pretty certain I can fit the entire building of the old shop in this room, and then there's the room over there that's the same size as this room again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. It's like 4 times the size.
Yeah.
So it's just so much more options and able to get stuff done properly.
Yeah. All right. So Spectrum says, going canoeing, hopefully on the River Wye. Why? Is that how you spell? I don't know. Go on a river with a friend in April. If it happens, I can divert to you. I don't know.
I'm going with why.
That's heckin' rad, Spectrum. If you can get onto Discord, that's great because that's the best way to get hold of me. That's the easiest place to get hold of me, if I'm honest. And then we'll converse about this and we'll talk about what the options are.
Yeah.
So either we'll end up turning that into some kind of video, or if it happens to be a Saturday, maybe we do some stuff live, whatever. And we'll go from there. Much appreciated for anything that you're happy to come and do.
Absolutely,
mega appreciated. Because it's. I always feel guilty about taking help, kind of thing. But like, if someone, if you got an expert who's saying, "I can come and sort this out for you," and you don't know what you're doing, probably a good idea to say, "If you can, I'd be much appreciative."
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I am very much of the opinion that where someone who is a professional is selling services to do the thing that you need to get done, you use the professional.
Yeah.
Because they know more than you do.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Does this thing just slide on?
That kind of slid down from the top, and then the little screw goes in that notch in the side, and that's what just keeps it on top. There you go. I think it goes back a little bit. Yeah, there, and then just down.
That was a satisfying clunk then.
Yeah,
that is.
And then if you just do that screw up, it then stops the cap coming off.
Yeah. Thank you.
Whee!
All right. Okay. So that is on.
Excellent. Yes. I thought about the thing that we can do. Now that we've done that, is we can rebuild that computer.
We could. Because also we've got to test the memory, because I think I've blown up those DDR3 modules, which I'm very sad about.
Yeah.
More on that in a minute. Cool. Okay. Right. So we'll start packing this up.
There.
Yeah. All right. Let's move this out of the way. We'll put something else on the bench. I'm going to crack open a can of cider.
Absolutely.
And we'll start working on stuff then.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh no. Okay. Here we go. Milos Cybulski.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you very much for the super chat. For good luck with this cool but not so cool device. Thank you very much, my dude. How are you doing? I hope I didn't butcher your name there. So yes. Let's see. I think we've covered everything. Yeah, did we watch the Newegg corporate sit-down with Gamers Nexus? I did. Actually, I sat down through the whole video.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I sat through the whole video because I was curious as to how it went down. I mixed opinions about it. The meeting itself, in my opinion, isn't particularly worth watching. It was a lot of corporate speak and a lot of fairly obvious answers, if I'm honest.
Yes. However, they are now recorded statements.
This is true, yeah. It's important that the event took place, but it didn't really answer any meaningful questions like what actually went wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my 30,000-foot overview of the situation, which a lot of people in the comments seem to be echoing, is that this is a KPI issue where the people working in the warehouses, they had targets for trying to keep the number of refunds to a certain level, and they felt sufficiently pressured to meet their targets or quotas that they were doing shady stuff.
Yeah.
Even though the policy was not shady stuff, but the people actually in the warehouses felt pressured enough to do shady stuff in order to meet targets. So the issue is that management needs to get to a point where they're saying, right, we need to figure out a solution to this where you do not feel under that pressure. If the targets are unrealistic, then the targets have to change or whatever. So that seemed to be the root of the issue. But that's not what was said in the meeting room. No. But if you think about it carefully and you read between the lines, that's clearly what's going on.
But also just kind of a case of how can you have a KPI on the number of returns? How can you reasonably have one?
Yeah.
Because surely your response should be, I've not seen any of the interview. But if it is a KPI thing, surely you should be having a KPI on number of cases successfully resolved for X number of customers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we also need to put the side panel back on.
Oh yeah.
And that's what it should be. It should be number of cases successfully resolved where the client or customer is happy with the outcome.
Yeah, and I think that's
number of days taken to reach resolution.
Yeah, I think that's actually the long-term solution that Newegg need to work towards. Is the problem is that the KPIs are for number of returns.
Yeah.
Whereas, we'll put it on. I was just going to leave it like that. Damn it. All right, hang on a sec. Take that. You're putting these screws back in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, there it comes again.
Yeah, 'cause the case is flexing a lot.
Oh, okay. Understandable. Have a nice day. Yes.
It's very thin, I assume, steel, and it weighs quite a lot.
Yes. Cool. So like you say, having KPI on number of returns is not a great idea, and that seems to be the problem, and we're seeing why that's not a good idea. And changing it so the KPI should be resolutions per se is a potential solution.
Yeah. The other issue as well is, of course, as my opinion as a non-American is also just the issue is American company to a degree.
Yeah, I could believe that.
You know, but I've not worked there, so I can't specifically comment. But obviously, the generic feeling that comes out of so many comments of employment practices and standards in America is problem is American company. So, and I'm not saying that uniformly stuff's better here, but just there seems to be a better percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing as well. As John Areno said, one of the suits was going over exactly what happened with GN's dodgy order, but Steve stopped him. And the issue there was Steve didn't want this to be about his problem.
Yeah.
Which is very noble, because he wanted this to be about the greater problem. And it's like, it's not about us. I can write off a £500 motherboard. It was never about that. It was about this being the symptom of a greater problem. However, I think it was a mistake for him not to drill into that. Like, I think he should have said, look, I don't care about this. I just want to know what happened because this is a perfect textbook example of the problem. So
yeah, also just a case of how dramatically wrong it went.
Exactly.
By the fact that there was literally a label on there from Gigabyte.
The other problem, though, as well, which I have mixed opinions about, is that in order to really drill down to what went wrong, it's essentially boiling down to whose fault was this. And you run the risk of going, it's the fault of Joe Bloggs, who was working in the warehouse that day, in which case we're straying into witch hunt territory. Yeah. Not because we want to fire that particular worker, but we need to understand where the point of failure was.
Also the circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we don't want to fire Joe Bloggs, who was working in the factory that day, or the warehouse, but we want to find out why he felt the need to handle the case in that way. What are you looking for?
Another one of these.
Okay.
I don't know if there is another one, but just there was a screw hole.
Yeah, I don't recall if we had a missing one at the start or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's just, one.
I'll keep an eye out for it. They're fairly distinctive screws.
Yeah. Oh, well, whatever.
Nope. Yep, pass. All right, yeah, that's the sound of cracking open a cold one with the boys. All right, let's see. What's up, Floor Lamp? What did you miss? You missed everything.
It's all over.
Yeah, literally. So, however...
It's okay, at least there's a VOD.
Yeah, we took it apart. We thought it was an electronics issue. We reflowed some solder joints. It didn't make any difference. However, with the help of a load of the folks in the chat, we've determined that it's out of gas. So, however, also ZX Spectrum in the chat, who's an AC guy. We've had help from ZX Spectrum and hang on a sec. Who's the other chat?
Several peeps. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Who was the one dude? I've forgotten your name already. I'm sorry. It's because we're live. Oh, where are you? I want to make sure I don't forget who
Nuts
was.
and Proud and someone else.
Yeah, Nuts and Proud. Yep, that's right.
And then there was one other person as well. Who I unfortunately can't remember.
Apologies if we don't remember names off the top of our head. It's very difficult to remember everyone's name when this chat is scrolling up. So yeah, LP Master. That was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you and sorry if we forget names. It's just part of streaming, unfortunately. We do appreciate the help though. So we got some help from folks. It turns out ZX Spectrum is actually potentially going to be in the area in the next within the next couple of months. So there is now an open invite for him to come in and fix our chiller for us. So
the HDMI leads go in there.
Yes. Yep. Good. So that's that. So it looks like it's not fixed, but we have every reason to believe that if it's regassed, it'll probably work at this point. Because we're confident in the electronics at this point, and we know that it's out of gas because we checked the gas valve and we found that it was out of gas. So that's that. Let's see.
Also, what's happening with this laptop? It's been here a while.
Oh yeah. I'm not dealing with that now. Blaming a warehouse worker or any one person is silly. It's the company policy, or the employees wouldn't do it over and over again. Yes, this is why I'm saying we're not trying to start a witch hunt here. But the issue is was it this guy's fault because he felt pressured to meet these targets? That's the thing, or.
Should we say why did
why did he feel like he needed to handle this? Like, whereas if we narrowed down that the guy who denied the return because the instructions on his screen told him to deny the return, that means the instructions are wrong. That's the thing there. That's why it's important to actually drill down to the core of these issues. So. Just to summarise what we're up to now, this is one of the shop builds. This is actually the retro rig from a while back. It's been in pieces for ages because I took it to bits to test components. So we're just reassembling this so it's not sitting here in bits anymore, basically. So yes, it's not particularly exciting, but that's what we're doing. And then we're probably going to test some memory in it because we've got some dead memory to test. So yeah, we're just dicking around with this now. So yes. Let's see. Proper HVI will pressure test the system with nitrogen, leaving for us to look for a pressure leak. Probably overkill for this instance. But that's certainly what you would do if we were going belt and braces, yes. I'm kind of inclined to say that if we just shove some gas in it, it'll probably work. Because this thing is ancient, and also it's probably had a rough life as well. Like when it was taken out of the old place it was in, it probably had a lot of shaking and movement and motion and etc.
I didn't get it new.
Yeah, it's got a lot of miles on the clock, that thing.
All the just random spots.
Pass.
Okay.
Let's see. Your CH341A didn't work. You had to reflow the chip, and then it started working. Interesting. All right, so possible production issues with those then. Worth noting. Can't blame the guy on minimum wage, but you can improve the first and second line education toward policy and less focus on KPI for returns. Yeah. That's the thing is, if the little guy on minimum wage is scared of doing too many returns, then there needs to be a conversation between them and the next people up in the chain saying, right, why are you concerned about doing too many returns? Do you feel like your targets are unattainable? If you're having to do stupid stuff to meet targets, then we need to assess the targets. And we need to have an environment where those warehouse workers are not afraid to say to their higher ups, we cannot achieve these targets.
Yeah, not just that, but my statement is the fact of simply having a target where it's the employee's responsibility to reduce the number of returns
is the wrong way to look at it.
It's very wrong, because how does that employee actually affect whether a customer buys something and then goes, oh, I've ordered the wrong one?
Yeah.
How do they affect that?
That's the thing. I mean, that actually did come up in conversation during the interview, where Steve mentioned I can't remember the exact wording, so I'm paraphrasing here, but there were words to the effect of, Steve said, look, if this is Amazon, everything is just returned, no questions asked. However, we both know that is a very that is a polar extreme opposite end of the spectrum, where you just accept returns, no questions asked, and clearly there is a huge amount of stuff that is just written off there in almost an unsustainable manner. And like just the way that Amazon runs is just bonkers kind of thing. And so he said, we know that the way that Amazon does it is not viable for most other companies, so we're not expecting you to go to that level, but at the same time, what kind of level do you think is realistic? And I can't remember the exact answer there, but there was a conversation of that ilk during the interview where they sort of tried to decide it. And if my memory serves me, Newegg's response was a very generic, if there is a customer that is unhappy, then we are unhappy. One unhappy customer is too many. But that's also kind of the reason why I felt like there was a lot of corporate speak there, because it's a case of, well, obviously that's going to be your answer. However, and as Steve pointed out, there are certainly occasions where a customer will be trying to return something which is, they claim, just stopped working, but they're blatantly lying. We all know they're lying. It's clear that they're lying, kind of thing. So there obviously has to be some extent of rejected returns. There has to be some amount of, no, dude, you broke it. I'm sorry. You got to buy a new one and suck it up. So you can't just have there has to be an amount of looking at something and not just approving every single return.
Although at the same time, you could do that. You could still do that. And just say everyone gets a free one.
How do you mean everyone gets a free one?
Every single account has one dodgy return. Every single account has one return where we look at it and go, no idea. I don't think this was actually a return, but everyone gets a free one. Yeah,
I think that's sensible, because also, like, I've been listening on and off to a lot of other responses to this, and like, for example, Steve again said with the Gamers Nexus store, when they've got someone and they're erring on the side of caution, they usually say, you know what, let them have it. We'll let this one go. And like when Lewis Rossman was giving a response to this, Lewis Rossman said, there's quite often when a customer comes back to his store with something that's broken, he says he normally gauges it based on whether he likes the customer or not, which I do as well. If a customer comes back and they're like, I'm sorry, I broke it again, kind of thing. Lewis Rossman says quite often he will just do it on the house and just say, just fix his laptop again. Don't worry about it, kind of thing. And that's actually the policy I work on. If someone is just like, oh, I did this and now it's not working again, I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll have another look at it. You know, if I can fix it again at no cost to myself other than my time, I'll see what I can do. Yeah. But if a customer is coming in and they're bullshitting, then I'm a lot more likely to say, no, dude, you dropped it when you walked out the door. We both know what happened. I'm sorry, that's on you. You know. Yeah. And this is one of the reasons why honesty is the best policy. Yeah. If you start bullshitting people, 9 times out of 10, they're going to know you're bullshitting. And in which case, they're less likely to try and help you out because you're lying. And it's the same as, you know, when people come in and they actually say, I spilt a cup of water over it. What can you do to help me? I'll be like, I'm going to do everything I can to help you. Whereas when someone is just like, oh, it just stopped working. And I'm like, there's liquid dripping out the bottom of this laptop. They're like, I don't know how that happened. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure thing, whatever you say, you know.
Ah, there we go.
So, lying and returns. Must be talking about. We sure are, Paul. We sure are. All right. Let's see. Amazon sells a lot of returned items that are broken or swapped for something cheaper. They don't check returns. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, checking costs a lot. And also, there's all the stories about how Amazon have just literally piles of stuff in the warehouses and stuff like that. And just, I don't know how they're running it, but it's not in a sustainable manner.
No, absolutely. But they sell it off.
Yeah.
They sell the returns.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They sell pallet loads of it, don't they?
They just sell a pallet of a return and just go, returns.
Yeah. And it's just, it's literally a
pallet. It's literally just a pallet, and they'll go $1,500 or something like that.
Yeah, might be a pallet full of 3090s. Probably isn't, but it could be, you know. Fair enough. It's still carnival here. You should have 2 cans of cider in today with solidarity. Well, in that case, I'm counting this as 1 and that as 2, because if I have 2 cans of cider, I'll die. I'm a lightweight. Do you do RMA with a seller or with manufacturer already? It depends what I've got. This is why I buy most of my stuff from Amazon, because if I have any problems, I just return to Amazon. That's my policy. So,
I am.
Noldy, you work for Argos. Sell a lot of laptops, PS5s, and Xboxes. Customer returns with the item. We send it to DC and it gets written off. Yeah, no checks at all. Yeah, that's it. But that's the problem. Is that one of the reasons why there's often no checks? I think you're going to need a different. Oh no, you've got a Philips on. No, yeah, hang on.
It's a teeny tiny one, though. Oh no, it's a star.
Yeah,
it's an S2P5.
Where's my Philips number 1? It should be here. Oh, there it is. Left-handed. There we go. Where was I? Yeah, that's the problem. Is that when you?
Oh well, this isn't going to work on any of them anyway, because they're all covered by plastic.
Oh, well, it's not reaching that. Oh, okay, yeah, fine. How's that? This is why we don't use bit screwdrivers. Anyway, where was I? Yes, so this is the thing with returns. Because that's the thing is, if you don't check all your returns, then you're just going to get a lot of written off stock. But if you are checking returns, you need qualified personnel to check the returns, which is itself a whole kettle of fish. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. You sell engine parts on eBay. You video all the big value items during the wrapping up process. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue, is just, it's difficult in every industry. And there's always, in every industry, you're going to get honest folk and dishonest folk. You know, I watched Mighty Car Mods, and a while back they were doing an engine swap on a Jimny, I think. And they bought an engine on eBay that was supposed to be a runner, and they fitted it and it didn't start, and they were like wah wah. So then they started tearing it up. They started taking the engine to bits to see what the problem was, and the engine was basically just thrashed to the point of failure. And they're like, this isn't a working engine. This is thrashed to the point of failure. But that's what you get when you're buying second-hand gear. Is just and sometimes it's the seller that's dishonest, but that also means that because of that, if you're an honest seller, you just need a lot of evidence to prove your honesty. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Have I considered doing a couple of shots of some high voltage liquid instead of cider? No, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Of high voltage liquid?
Assuming they mean, like spirits.
I was thinking just like, I'm not sure if I want to electrify my pint glass.
That'd certainly be entertaining. Let me see, right.
I guess it would add a new meaning to, a burning aftertaste.
Yes. All your sales are for new parts. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Video per a video per PC sold is essential to you now. Yeah. Especially because you're shipping your PC, as I suppose you need to provide evidence that you shipped it in a responsible and working manner.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, it's sucky that that's the case. But that's the thing. I've got a PC in here at the moment where it's a really cheap, Chinese parts. There's potentially going to be a video on it on the channel. I haven't decided yet. It's just a lemon, basically. There's no other way to put it. It's just a lemon. It's just made of cheap tat. And some kid has saved up his pennies and bought it, and it's just a lemon. And I'm 99% certain that they're going to end up trying to send it back, and they're going to have to convince the seller that it's faulty. So I'm going to try and supply them with as much evidence as I reasonably can that it's just a crap computer. But also, having seen people who have been on the other side of the fence here, where they've got a seller who wants to return a PC, I'm trying to figure out how I can do this in the most respectful way to the seller. That, respects the fact that someone else has looked at the computer, but also respect the fact that it was a crap PC that they sold them tat, So yeah. So yes.
I just realised I might have made a mistake.
What have you mistaked? Oh, backplate not on the thing. Yeah, unfortunate.
There's a cutout.
Ah, yeah, there must be. It's a modern case.
The answer is yes.
Good.
There is a cutout.
Good. Yeah. I don't ship PCs myself. I'm still too scared to. I have shipped PCs in the past, but I've only shipped computers that have water coolers in them because obviously that is all bolted up to the case. I don't know if I'm brave enough to ship a PC that's got an air cooler or a big graphics card in it. I'm going to need to do some research on that because I'm still undecided as to how into boutique computer building I want to be. Because I do get emails and phone calls from people saying, I want to buy a custom PC from you. And at the moment, I keep evading it. I keep going, oh, yeah. If you're a walk-in customer or you can come and collect it, absolutely, I'll build you a PC. But I don't know if I want to get into that game of shipping stuff across the country because that's a lot of risk and hassle that, frankly, I don't need. I've got my hands full just doing repairs, and while I want to build really cool computers, that's not something I need to be doing, and I might not actually be making very much money doing it either. So, oh my god, with a Dremel, there's always a cutout. I'd keep evading. Perhaps there's a chance they'll pay to drive it out. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time I say to people, look, if you're at least anywhere near the M4, you're no more than 2 hours away from me. It's probably going to cost you less in fuel to drive to me and come back again than it is for me to ship it to you. Who knows? Tyrian 2000 with the €5. Loving the streams. Keep it up, boys. Thank you very much, dude. How are you doing? Much appreciated. Outside of the professional platform, it's just sketch to say to someone, give me £700 bank transfer before. Big same. I did have a big build that did actually fall through. because the guy wanted to pay on credit card, and I said in the nicest possible way, you know. I mean, at the time, my credit card machine wasn't working, and I was basically saying, you know, look, my card machine isn't working, and I'm going to lose a lot of money in credit card fees on this transaction. Can we do bank transfer? And he was just like, no, don't want to, because I'll have no assurances. And I was like, all right, sorry, dude, I can't help you then. I respect why you want to pay on card, so you have buyer protection. However, that's not something I can do for you right now. And plus, also, like, I understand that it's reason that buyers should have protection, but also when someone is basically saying that they don't trust me, that's also a bad start to a customer relationship, and that's a very awkward place to be, because obviously I shouldn't be having to require the customers to trust me, but when the customer basically turns around and says, I don't trust you, yeah, I'm sorry, that's not a good place to start a relationship. I mean, they didn't say that literally, but it's implied, you know. With Caradog doing the labour, my overheads will be low. Yes. This is true. You refuse credit completely. Yeah. Yeah. Anything interesting repair-wise through the shop this week? I've got some stuff on the go. Oh, that went my way. Was it just the plastic bit?
Yeah. Cool.
I've got a MacBook Air repair video going out on Monday that I'm going to edit this weekend. Not particularly exciting, but in a way a fun one. I measured a fuse on the wrong side of the fuse, and it led me up the garden path. So
no, that is not working. I will do it individually.
Have you considered laying the computer down since you've taped the backplate on?
Yeah, but I was seeing if I could just do that with both of them, but I couldn't.
Fair enough. Understandable. Let's see. How much do credit card companies charge you? Depends on what kind of deal you have. I don't have a very good setup for my card machine because my idea
Not very good. It's bloody awful.
Yeah. My idea of hell is filling out paperwork.
Where did it go?
There's one there.
I require a third one.
Okay. I heard something clatter in the case. Did you grab that? Anything underneath?
No, there's two there. Oh! Haha!
Excellent.
Did it.
Yeah, my one's awful because I can't be bothered to fill out the forms required to get a good card machine. So I just have one that's very convenient. But I use an iZettle at the moment, so I just take a flat fee of 3% on everything. And this is fine on small repairs, because most of my repairs are just £50 service jobs. But obviously, if you build someone a computer that costs £1,000, and the credit card machine is going to take 3% buyout of that, ouch, you know. So yeah, at some point I actually need to figure out a card payment system that doesn't burn me on high value things. So that's a thing. But yes, as I say, that's just an issue that I need to sort out. Trust is earned, not given. This is very much true, Book and Peter. Yeah, that is very much true. That is quite understandable. As I say, I shouldn't expect a customer to trust me. But yeah, as I say, it was an awkward situation though, just because at the time my card machine wasn't working anyway, which is the other reason why I didn't go through with it. Whereas these days, if a customer insisted on a credit card payment, I would say, sure thing. However, there will be a surcharge for the credit card payment because my card machine sucks, which is not your fault. Take it or leave it, you know? So, yeah. Credit card is nothing about trust. Consumer protection is nice, but you get much more legitimate entries on the statement. Yeah. Did Pianov help you with the last great video? No, actually, it was that was all thanks to Floor Lamp. Ein Wildstelamp helped me out with that one. However, also shout out to Arnold G because he is all. I mentioned a couple of knowledgeable people in my Discord for BIOS stuff, and that is Ein Wildstelamp and Arnold G, who is Lead Farmer on Discord. They are both super good with BIOS stuff. Arnold G missed out on that one because he wasn't about, but Floor Lamp helped me out. Pianov did also stick in a load of extra help in the comments section, though. So also a shout out to Pianov because, yeah, he put a load of really cool information in the comments section, which I pinned on the latest video.
Was that the laptop where you did the 2 chips?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So yeah, Pianov posted a load of really good information pointing to the Bad Caps forum where they're collecting a lot of really cool stuff.
Handy dandy.
So I linked that. I made sure that link was pinned at the top of the comments section. So if you're looking to learn about that stuff, that's obviously going to be a great resource. So yes. Let's see.
Why is this cooler? Oh, it must be just part of the manufacturer. There's just stuff.
Yeah, presumably that's the thermal goop they're using, some kind of thermal epoxy maybe.
The thermal stuff.
Yes. Let's see.
Can I have some thermal paste?
Some thermal paste? You can. Doo-doo. Let's see, right. Okay, I'm going to start from the top and work down because I've lost track of where I was. Not allowed to apply a surcharge for credit cards these days. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense actually, Quentin Stevens. I haven't checked into that. I was just spitballing the idea of it. But yeah, that does actually make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest,
the way you get around that...
I was about to say, I would just say, actually, my build costs this much because it's an expensive computer.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, that's the thing. It's like the old story of if something is marked at the wrong price on a shelf, you have to sell it at that price. It's like, yes, I can also just say, I'm sorry, this isn't for sale anymore. I've decided to keep it. So yeah, there's always ways around that. You're not wrong though. I couldn't charge directly just for the credit card surcharge though. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But again, this is kind of beside the point because my credit card machine was a mess at that point anyway. So yeah.
Do you still have the physical device?
I do. I'm not paying any charges on it though. I have not ended my contract. Well, I'm out of contract on it because the contract for it got they lost my contract basically. So I was paying transaction fees but no service contract. So basically if I'm not running any transactions through it, there are no charges. So yeah, it's in a really weird state. But yes. All right. Okay, right. I'm going to try and catch up on chat because I'm a page behind on the chat. I'm reading the top of the screen. Have I ever had a heated argument in the shop about anything? I wouldn't say argument because I have had angry customers in the shop because some people are irrational and some people either come in with the intention of starting an argument because they're unhappy about something, or they just don't like what you're saying and they will escalate to try and force their opinion. And usually these days at that point, I just say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with this then. Which is hint for fuck off, basically. And sometimes if someone is being difficult, the other phrasing I use is, I'm sorry, I would recommend taking this to Curry's, which is also code for fuck off. So, but it very rarely happens. I have had falling outs with customers. I have had occasions where customers have been getting very shirty with me, and I've just said, I'm sorry, I can't fix this. Here's your laptop. And just be on your way, basically. But I very, very rarely have an argument with someone, though. The other thing as well is I've often had disagreements with people who come in and start talking to me about being electrosensitive and stuff like that. And I've had a couple of... I haven't had anyone who said the 5Gs, but also like through the pandemic, people who are just like, oh, I'm not getting any of that vaccine rubbish kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I'd like you to go now, please, kind of thing. I can't help you with this. I'm sorry. But yeah, my solution is always just to say, I can't help you. Because that just kills the conversation and means that they have to leave. So, Let's see. What's up, Spud Nugget? How you doing? Did we get the chiller working? We did not, but we did a teardown on it. We understood more. We have determined that it does need regassing. So there is a plan in place for that. Let's see. You don't have a bit... yeah. Rimoin says, I don't have business brain. I wouldn't know what to charge for time, parts, etc. I don't either, if I'm brutally honest. I'm making it up as I go along.
My answer is always, for that, is a case of the pricing of stuff should be just at the point where they agree, but they pause just before they agree.
Yeah.
So then you know that you've hit about where the maximum was that they would pay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I have been getting braver about charging more recently, though, because, I have been getting braver and just being like, the cost is this much, and they've said, okay, you know. So, yeah, I'm getting better at that.
Yeah, it's also the other thing as well is just a lot of it is the delivery. If you're not afraid of your charges.
Yes. Yeah, you just say, this costs this much, my time costs this much, so you'd be paying this amount total. Would you like to, should we go ahead with that? And yeah, absolutely, delivery does help a lot. And yeah, so...
Or the other way of phrasing it around is, it's going to cost you this much, when are we starting?
Yeah, yep, that is true. Yep. Do-do-do. Right, I'm going to skip down to the bottom. They drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Yeah, that's the old famous one. I think another one as well is just people who try and... They say... the old people who are just like, oh, I think it just needs this. And they try and downplay the amount of work involved. And you're just like, yeah, it might do. And if it does, that's what I'll find out when I do the diagnosis. I get that a lot, actually. People who say, I think it's X. And I'm like, yeah, probably. I'm sure that's what I'll find when I do the diagnostic then. But I'm still going to run my own tests. Because they try and convince you that it's X. And you're like, well, if it is X, then that's what I'll find. But I'm still going to look at it myself. Let's see. Kevin Holmes just tuned in. Have we managed to fix the chiller? No. We did a teardown. We did some work to it, but ultimately we determined that it needs regassing. So that's the next point of call. There will be a follow-up to it, but it's probably not going to be for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But yeah, we did do we got an interesting look at it though. So if you're interested in seeing the internal guts of it and how it works, we did really drill in and look into that. Mr. Simuk, sorry. Whatever. I just wear the cost of credit cards. At the end of the day, if your margins are so tight, look at your suppliers and get a better deal. That's very good advice. If your margins are so tight...
Though, at the same time, if every single bill goes up by 3%...
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of extra margin you need to find somewhere else.
Yeah.
If every single bill gets reduced by 2.9%, that's a lot of margin you don't need to find.
Yeah. I think there's a balancing point to that, which I would imagine we're probably on the same page of, where it's a case of, yes, if your margins are so tight that you're arguing over banking fees, then your pricing structure is probably broken. However, by the same token, that doesn't mean that you should be paying more than you need to. So I think we could. There's obviously a sensible compromise there, but the point of if you're quibbling over costs, then there's something wrong with your margins, which is part of another problem. So
I guess kind of.
Yeah. To an extent. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like, when I'm building a PC and I'm like, am I going to lob in this triple fan splitter? Am I going to charge for that, or am I going to put that into the build cost? It's like, if I'm starting to add on another £2 here and another £2 there, then I'm not charging enough for the build cost, arguably. That's a terrible example, actually, but I think you get the idea.
Yeah, but it's also just a case of running those numbers and going, am I charging enough of the build cost? You need to be aware of what the cost is.
Yeah, and I'm getting braver with charging more for builds as well, because I definitely haven't been charging enough for those. Yeah. You work for the breweries and used to regas chillers years ago. Oh, fair enough. Yep. Have I had any luck finding a decent clip for chip programming? Honestly, I have not been trying, because chip off board just works for me, and I keep every time I'm like, I must get myself a nice clip. A bunch of people say to me, "Nah, clips, man, they don't work. Oh, you'll blow something up. You'll kill something. Chip off board is the way forward." So I keep flip flopping. You know, I need to buy a good clip just so I can explore it. But the problem is that all of the pro guys who are really good at this, they all do chip off board. And like, you know, I mean, I don't know. What's your opinion? What's your opinion, Arnold? And everyone else who does BIOS programming in here, clip or chip off board? What do you think? Let's actually have a show of hands here. Because I know there are some people who use clips religiously and have no problems, but then I've seen loads of people who said, no, you'll kill stuff with a clip. Little extra time, but overall more sane. Yeah, and the other thing as well is that I think a lot of people want to use clips because they're afraid of soldering. But it's like, if you're getting elbow deep into laptop repair, you're going to have to learn to solder. And soldering BIOS chips, it's not difficult. It's some of the easiest soldering you can do for board level stuff. So yeah, but I don't know. Is the XPG case any good? Yeah, this XPG case, I think I did do a review on this at the time. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't do massive thermal reviews on it. It was good. I liked this case actually. It was a cool design. It incorporates the side. This case has got a side mount for a side-mounted radiator, while it's in a fairly compact case, which is rather cool.
Which RAM needed testing in this?
Let me just grab all of the
Also,
RAM.
where's the GPU gone? There.
Yeah.
Also, is the SSD that's in here a personal SSD?
Is there an SSD in there?
Yes. It looks like a Samsung one.
That's probably got XP on it. It might be worth just firing it up and seeing what's there. If it's got, I think it's going to have XP on it, in which case we can just burn that because that XP install's a bit crap, if I'm honest. Oh, let me just grab another stick of RAM. Oh, they're both DDR4. Never mind. I think I don't actually have any more DDR3 around because I shoved everything else into the workstation. Is this DDR3? It is.
Plonk.
All right. I would say open with this one, just because I want to know if it works, and that might be our known good before we start testing. Let's see. Clip is 50-50. Yeah. Make up header cables for the BIOS part. Clip is less damaging to the silicon. Yeah, that's reasonable. Glad you got a second now to check in. Yeah, clip is fine for reading. Bottom line, if you don't know your platform exactly, including the dissipation of the rail the ROM is connected to, don't do in circuit. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hello, Pianov. I'm glad you're here as well. Lots of issues with clip and ISP in general, so wouldn't recommend, except if you're already validated that it works on a specific board and a specific programmer. Yeah.
I don't like
your
Mike C13. It's very...
Oh yeah, that's a bit crap, isn't it? I think it might be that power supply, actually.
No, because it was the same on the back of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Pull out that C13.
It's a bit how you doing.
Yeah. It's flapping about.
I don't like that.
It's flapping about in the breeze. Yeah, I will probably chuck that in. No, I should chuck it in the bin. I've got a box full of C13s, so yeah. Bin. If it's
smacks the tripod camera.
Yeah. If it's a crap cable, chuck it in the bin.
Is this HDMI
right.
live?
Sorry, is our okay? The mic looks. Can everyone confirm if the audio is good? Because the mic looks good at my end. Yeah, I think it might have just blipped when you switched it on, just because of spiking.
Is this live?
It can be live. Right, hang on a sec. I'm going to hook up the capture. Right, I am going to... Why did we unplug all of the capture cards, Caradog?
Because you said we didn't need them.
Unplug plugging in another catch card. We'll use the AliExpress boy because it's quick and easy. Right, let me sort out some vision for you.
Also, can I have a mem test flash drive?
Audio is fine. Good. Okay. Mem test flash drive. It's that. No, it's not that one. Hang on a sec. Stand by.
Is it this one?
It's this one over here.
Okay.
Whoop. Okay, right. 1 sec. I'm just going to rearrange some windows. Right, put that there.
Well, that's a good start.
Oh, is it kill? Oh. All right, I've got time. Right, I need to move that to there. And I'm going to put that up there.
I'm going to unplug the front headers. So I've clearly done them wrong because I touched them and it turned on.
Big
So let's start that again.
The GPU is a HD 6950 with a custom spray paint, badly spray painted cooler on it.
I don't know.
Let me see. Right, I'm catching up on the chat now. Guess the thing is with the clip, the potential downsides are substantially higher when things go wrong. Although the same thing could be argued for incompetent solderers too. Yeah, that's very true.
I dislike this motherboard and case combination.
Any thoughts on the Torrent Nano? I haven't looked at the Torrent Mini and Nano in detail. However, I feel like they're missing the point of the Torrent. Because in my opinion, the point of the Torrent is that it's a big showcase. It's a lot like the Lianli O11D XL. It's designed to be a big cabinet case with big airflow. And I feel like any effort to miniaturize it, reduce is just defying the point. And like the Nano, I can't believe that that's actually meaningfully small, despite taking a Nano ITX form factor. So I'll just show you what we've actually put together over here. Whoop. Let's go to Benchcam.
Hello.
All right, I'm going to flip this and focus the camera. I should have put this on the other side of the bench. I might do so, actually, because I don't think we need it on this side anymore. Hang on a sec. I'm going to move this camera. Doing a lot of moving around at the moment. Is the mic a Samsung CO1? It is. It's a Samsung CO1U, to be precise. Which, in my opinion, is one of the best podcasting mics there is. USB, that is. I've actually bought another one for use at home because I like it that much. Ow. Oh, I just banged that camera. Off. I'm slowing down. Right, hang on a sec. I've got to move this camera. I've got to focus. One sec. One sec.
What? Is this just not in properly?
I don't know what's going on over there. It's turning on and off though. It's doing weird things. Something is terribly wrong with that. That's one sick puppy. Right, now I'm going to stand in front of the main camera in order to bring this over here. Okay, right.
It is now on.
Get you guys a view of what's happening. Oof. And transform, flip. I said flip.
Oh my god, why is that a thing that exists?
Oh my god. Right.
Also,
flip, there we go.
One of these.
Whoop. And focus, focus. There we go. Right, so this thing is lit up now. Right, is it alive?
Maybe.
All right, let's see if we've got any output from it. Let me quickly studio mode and just preview the output. Right, let's go to Ali card. There it is. Bam. And move you up to the top. Activate.
Shouldn't there be a black box?
There should be a black box. However, right, hang on a sec, I'm just configuring our capture card to do something. Oh god, why did I pick this one? It is reliable, but also it's not reliable. Right. Is that plugged in properly? Yep, okay, ignore me. Ignore me. Right, unlock. Resolution. Let's just switch to that a sec. USB video. There we go. Okay. Right, okay, right. Let's come out of studio mode and switch to that. Aha, it lives. And live gamer. Let's move that down to there. Let's just get everything visible at the same time. Oh, we're on the wrong thing for this. Okay, right. Oh, my God. My God. Let's go to there. Let's go to that and full screen it. And then live gamer.
F1. It's not going to detect it.
There. There we go. All right, that's what I've been trying to do. We got there in the end. It's a lot of hassle. Okay, there we go. Right, we have a system that works.
There you go.
Okay, right, 4 a.m. You're off to sleep. Oh, blimey. Yeah. See you, Paul. Thanks for dropping by as always. Go to bed. Okay.
Do your own frequency. I will have to set it manually because XMP wouldn't turn on.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, this was the board where we did a BIOS update on it, and it actually gave us a fairly modern-looking BIOS, didn't it? So this is a 4th gen Intel motherboard.
I can't read what that says.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't really care. This is just a sanity check. This is just to confirm that the system starts basically, and then
okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So yes, the next thing to do then is to check this stuff, which I think will post but fail mem test. And
the issue we've got as well is this cooler covers the first RAM slot.
Yeah. That's fine. We'll just put them in slots 2 and 4, which is where they should be anyway, right? Hello, Windows XP. Yeah, there we go. This was the system that I started playing Deus Ex on. However, this was an attempt to build a retro PC.
Oh no,
but it
doesn't have the drivers for the...
However, it doesn't actually work very well. Yeah, I vote we nuke this and install Windows on it, but not necessarily now because we're just mem testing, so...
I haven't actually plugged it in. Never mind.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, we've got no front panel. Yeah.
Because the front panel wasn't doing anything, and then just poking random bits of the motherboard was turning it on.
Okay.
I just skipped the entire part. I was just like, I will fix this bit in a second.
Right, power switch. Reset. Then
The doved.
Look at the turf. Ready for the hood. And power LED. Bam. Alright, that's our front panel. Right, give it a spin. There we go. RAM training.
Maybe.
RAM training.
Maybe if they've removed all of this plastic, they wouldn't need these stupid fans.
Yeah.
Thanks, Asus.
Yeah. This board is it's a Z97. It's an Asus Z97 Sabertooth. And it's a very interesting board, but not actually very good.
With thermal armor. In other words, it's got plastic bits covering it up so it runs hotter.
Yeah, and it needs all the fans in order to... Yeah.
It does have a jumper for you to set obnoxiously high V-core.
It's a good motherboard if you take all the plastic off.
Yeah.
But the plastic is why you buy this motherboard. So it's just like, what are you trying to do here? You know?
Yeah.
So yes.
Can you swap over to the capture?
We can. Right, okay, let's switch to the capture. Where did I put that cam link? There we go.
Okay.
All right, mem test is starting in 6 seconds. Don't know how you feel about the full Mobo shields. Yeah, absolutely. Not a good idea, in my opinion. Are there cases where it's easy to detach the front panel so you can easily hook up the cables to a motherboard? Sort of. The problem is that the front panel header isn't really properly standardized, although most motherboards these days have the same layout. However, there are some motherboards out there that come with a little header block, so you can plug in all the individual strands to the header block, and then you have a single block that you plug into the motherboard. But I never ever use those because it's kind of a case of you never really unplug the front panel headers anyway. The kind of people who are actually changing that stuff all the time are the kind of people who don't need assistance, if you see what I mean.
Who also possibly aren't even building in a case.
Let's see. Used to have a Sabertooth X99 motherboard with a 5820K in it. That's cool. Be Quiet air cooler? No, it's an Arctic.
It's an Arctic.
Freezer something. Freezer 9 or something like that, I think.
It's an Arctic freezer cheap.
Yeah.
It was literally just the cheapest ones.
Yeah, it's relatively big though.
Yeah.
It's probably quite a good cooler for its era.
No, it's not the 7X, is it? 'Cause the 7X is.
No, it's not. No, it's not one of those cheap ones that you bought. This was one. One of the a viewer gave it to me. I forget their name. Apologies if you're watching. But yeah, a viewer came in and gave me a bunch of old stock, new old stock that was, and I was like, I've got just the computer to put this in. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Graham has turned to Apple. Yes, Caradog is doing all the work at the moment. Well, I'm doing the job of reading the chat and that, which is surprisingly difficult.
Because it involves reading.
Did I consider flipping used rigs in my shop? I do on occasion when I get them, but I don't seek them out to sell. However, yeah, it is a consideration, and I sort of keep an eye out. And if something comes along, I'll usually try and smarten it up and put it on the shelf. So yeah. It's shower time. All right, no problem, Arnold. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for your help earlier on as well. I shall see you around. Cool.
There was for a while where you were doing a reasonable number of second-hand laptops.
Yes, I had a decent supply of them from a man. However, he stopped bringing in... Well, I mean, to be honest, he was bringing in a lot of junk. You know, I was picking out 1 out of every 5 that he would bring in. And 4 of the 5, I'd be like, no, go away, you know. However, it got to the point where just nothing he was bringing in was good, you know. It was like 2018 and he was bringing me single core Celerons kind of thing. I'm like, I'm not selling this in my shop. I'm just going to have the customer come back a day later saying, well, it's not very fast, you know. So I did have a chap who came in like the day before Christmas, and he left a Samsung laptop with me, and he said, I've got a warehouse full of secondhand laptops like this. Do you want to sell them from me? And I'm like, yes, this is the kind of thing I want to sell. And I said, you know, what kind of price would you be looking for? And he said a price. I'm like, I'm very interested in that. We can do business. However, come and talk to me in the new year because it's the day before Christmas and I'm not dealing with this now. I've clocked out. And I have not heard back from him. And I've still got one of his laptops. And I'm like, oof. I wish I'd taken his phone number, but I kind of assumed he'd be back because he left the laptop here. So that's very awkward. But I'm kind of hoping he does get in contact with me again because, as I say, he brought in a decent example laptop, and I'm like, if you've got a warehouse full of these, we can do business. You know, I have got a never-ending supply of people who would be interested in buying stuff like this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do I have a dumpster dive? I do not. No, only stuff that crosses my palm. You know. Okay. Right. Well, this looks all right. We're not going to sit through a full pass with this, I don't think. Let's drop in the Corsair kit, because I think this is going to fail spectacularly, and everyone in the chat is going to go, oh, except like in words. So everyone prepare your best oh words so you can copy paste it in when it happens. You'll know what I mean when you see it. Bloody turbo timer fans. You turn this board off and the fans keep spinning because it's got to cool it down afterwards. That's not a real thing.
I mean, it kind of is. There is that much plastic in the way of the airflow.
Yeah, but as soon as you turn off the power, the heat source is gone and it starts getting cooler. So.
But have you not seen how much plastic there is blocking the airflow? Also, have you seen that there is stuff inside this memory slot?
Oh, it's fine.
It's still there. It's still there.
Okay, I'm getting the. I'm getting the tweezers.
It's Rice Crispy.
Right, I don't know why we're both holding one module each. It's not a two-man job.
Because you wanted to feel useful.
Kind of, yeah. Right, so this memory kit I bought on eBay this week and is faulty.
What is it? It is 1600, 10, 10, 10, 27. Good lord, at 1.5 volts.
Yeah, so this memory kit is faulty and I'm going to send it back, but I want to just make sure that it posts just because... I'll tell you the backstory here. I mentioned earlier on I had a really cheap PC in and it came in and it had 2 sticks of faulty RAM in it that did not post. Oh yeah, it was... the listing said that the heat spreader was broken. However, I thought it was a bit firmer than that. So yeah. And I think they broke the heat spreader deliberately as an excuse to sell faulty memory. However, I'm just like, no, you're taking this back because the memory module itself is also faulty. So actually go to hell with that. Just put it on, it'll be fine. It just clicks back on.
It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the memory kit is faulty and it's going to get sent back. So I then swapped it out to in this computer to this kit, which is a known good kit, and it came back in earlier on today, no post, and I think the motherboard has killed this RAM kit. So I think I have a motherboard in the shop that is killing memory modules. So that's why we're testing memory in this computer now, because I want to find out if those modules are actually dead. Typically UK bins are locked. Yeah. What's my policy on holding repair devices and the owner does not show up? Well, there's a lot of caveats to that, so that's a very long answer. That's a very long answer. Is that not RAM training?
It is very much just power cycling.
Okay. Yeah, although this memory is like hilariously faulty, so it might have been a fluke when it booted in the other computer. When this memory did work, it like within seconds of mem test, it clocked up 4,000 errors. So it is hilariously faulty RAM, and I was surprised that it even started.
It might be this module.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's just posted.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what that does.
Or at least appears to have done.
Yeah. Am I going to reinitialize the capture card?
Yeah,
there it goes. Yep. I suppose it'll be interesting to see if this module passes. Where's the faulty one?
There.
So I'll stick the heat spreader back on while we're waiting. Ugh. God, it's taking forever to start mem test. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mention this to you because I thought I had bent all of this into shape enough that it wouldn't come off again easily. Evidently, I was wrong.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Way. All right. So where everyone go? Oh, with me. That's some faulty memory. And that's what a mem test failure looks like if someone has never seen one.
Oh boy.
So yeah, there we go. Well done, Duma. That was a good. Oh. Cool. So I guess what would be interesting now. Oh, I'm assuming both these modules are faulty. Basically, the eBay seller scammed me on this. I think they broke the heat spreader themselves and was just like, oh yeah, it's got a broken heat spreader, but it was not sold as spares repairs, which means I can get my money back on it. Because I'm like, no, I fixed the heat spreader, but the memory itself doesn't work. Therefore, give me my money back.
Yeah, I'd still just open a dispute straight with eBay.
Yeah. I have sent them a message. They have. I sent them a message on Thursday, I think, and I don't think I've had a response back yet. If there's nothing in my inbox on Tuesday, I'll dispute it. I message people first, though, before instantly disputing, because if you have too many disputes on eBay, it affects the visibility of your listings. So if I can...
Oh, that's very much not a concern of mine.
If
I
can
just make another account.
Yeah, if I can come up, like... if I can reach a... Like, I'll message the seller first and just say, look, X is Y. What are your thoughts, kind of thing. Yeah. And if they give a favourable response, if their answer is, oh, sorry about that, send it back, we'll get another one into the post to you straight away. And most of the time, that's the answer I get. I'm like, cool, no problems. And I don't need to dispute it. Whereas, like, if this guy doesn't message me by Tuesday, or if their response is, well, we did say the heat spreader was broken, then I'll be like, cool, I'm opening a dispute now. And I'm going to win. Oh,
look, there you go. No errors now.
Ah, what have you done?
Moved the memory channel.
Interesting. That's a bit concerning for this motherboard. I mean, we've never done back-to-back testing on this board before. So, for all we know, this board might have problems.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, never mind. Yeah. Oh!
Yeah. But they're in a different place, kind of thing. So, interesting.
I mean, it's memory errors. It
could absolutely,
be anywhere.
But just purely a case of, they're clearly in a slightly different place.
Yeah.
For it to error at a different time.
Yeah, that's fair. Whoop. All right.
Do you wish to indicate that in some fashion is definitely dead?
Nope, I'm not putting any marks on them. I mean, I could stick some tape on them, but
that's all I was thinking.
Yeah, we'll test the other one
just in case this module works.
Yeah.
Just so you don't get them mixed up.
That's true. Yeah. Fine. I'll stick a little bit of. I do that. I managed to fit it without breaking it.
Yeah, it's just the memory module just fell straight out.
You're holding it wrong.
Well, I kind of have to because they're where the heatsink is. There we go. Oh my good lord. What?
Nothing.
It's
oh my god, give it
the
here.
Heat spreaders also.
Give it here.
I was putting it in the wrong way around because the heat spreader's the other way around now.
Okay. What? It's symmetrical. Oh yeah,
no, it's not.
Yeah, the labels aren't.
The labels.
Yeah. All right.
So it did me confused because I am a simple boy.
All right. Right. Is this Corsair RAM? It is. It's like DDR3 though. It's ancient.
Yeah, it's dead.
I'll give it a sec. Might be RAM training.
I think this one is the slightly more dead.
Camlink? Is that where it was? It's posted.
Yeah, but I think this one is the slightly more dead one.
Yeah. Deader than thou. Oh, I said we were going to finish at the 2-hour marker. 3/4 of an hour overtime. I'm kind of curious now just because this is funny to me. Corsair gives lifetime warranty on RAM. Yeah, I'll just send it back to the eBay seller and they can RMA it. I mean, Corsair don't make this stuff anymore. I'll be impressed if they'll actually do anything about it. They'll probably just give me vouchers or something. I don't know.
Here is a 15p voucher.
Yeah, I mean, what would you... This is DDR3. You know, no one makes this anymore. What are they going to do? What can they do?
Give you a 15p voucher to the Corsair store.
No finishing, you just managed to get back. Well, that sounds like a you problem, Floor Lamp. Oh, it did start. Yep, that seemed like it was sluggish to get going then. You know what's going to be really funny is if the module with the broken heat spreader isn't faulty. That will actually be very interesting.
It isn't so far.
Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it? Hope it's not bought from Newegg. No, eBay special.
Interesting. It has got further than the other one has.
Yeah. We'll give that until the timer gets to like 2 minutes or something. And then we'll go... I mean, the fact that one module is faulty means that the kit has got to be sent back. So it doesn't actually change anything. But it is interesting that the module with the broken heatsink was the one that was actually faulty. Because, as I say, my theory...
Wasn't the one that's faulty.
Yes, correct, yeah. Because my theory is that the seller deliberately broke a heatsink in order to sell a faulty set of RAM and just try and get away with flogging dead parts. I think that's what's going on here. I think I got scammed. But my answer to that is, I don't care if the heat spreader was broken. The memory, you didn't say the memory was faulty. You know. And we can provide. I can make a very compelling argument that the heat spreader is not even needed for the memory to run. You know. 1:50. Yeah. However, I think when we get to this Kingston stuff, I think we're going to find these modules are stone dead, and I'm going to be very sad about it because this is actually a really nice DDR3 kit. This is DDR3 1600, but this is a 999 something kit. So it's actually got, this actually has good timings on it. This stuff was running in the shop computer up until recently, but I pulled it out because this kit was faulty. But then the computer came straight back in again with these guys apparently being dead. So I think the motherboard is killing modules. And I'm really interested in that. I want to do some research into that, but the problem is that I don't really want to plug any more modules into a motherboard that is potentially killing modules. So that kind of sucks. If you didn't list it as parts not working, it doesn't matter. eBay will side with you. Exactly that. And he sold it as second hand. So wasn't spares repairs.
No, I think we can agree that this module isn't completely broken.
No.
So it's worth leaving it to run a full pass, but not now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we won't full pass it now, but that's enough to say. Yeah, it's not screamingly dead like this module was.
Yeah.
So yeah. Interestingly, though, I'll probably use that to test the motherboard in that computer because it's.
For fuck's sake.
It's of no consequence to me. It's of no consequence to me if the other module dies. Check the voltages that the motherboard supplies to the voltages and the RAM accepts. Yeah, that's my inclination, is to stick the multimeter on the RAM VRM and see if the RAM is running hot. Right, so I'm expecting no post from this one. I keep switching to the wrong camera. There we go. I shall reinitialize the card just in case. Is it worth plugging a beep speaker into this just in case we get a memory error?
Can do. I will allow you to insert the
Oh, it's cycling on the RAM.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's doing quite the dance, actually. Let me get the camera on that. You can actually see the diagnostic LEDs bouncing back and forth. Yeah, that's turbo dead, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pity. This is the first time I've seen a motherboard that is killing components like this. However, the motherboard is one of those really cheap Chinese jobs. You know, if you go on AliExpress and search for i7 and you get a motherboard bundle with an i7 4770K, a motherboard and some RAM for it, that's what's in this computer. And it's proper crap. It's really bad. It was one of those ones where I had to be very delicate with the customer and find the nicest possible way of saying, I'm sorry, but this is garbage. You know. You're still using the old mem test with the blue background? That means it's running in non-UEFI mode. When you run mem test in legacy mode, you get the blue background. When you run it in UEFI mode, you get the black background. What's for tea? Pizza or Chinese? I don't know yet.
Thai.
Thai? I mean, we can do if you want Thai again.
We should phone them now.
We should. Yeah, might actually do that in a sec.
Yeah.
We'll do it live on stream. Live streaming our takeaway order.
Absolutely. A number 5, a number 6, a number 42.
I can't remember. I need to memorize Big Smoke's order just so I can actually quote that properly. I have two number 7s, a large soda, and extra fries. CJ, what are you having? You gotta eat, man. Keep your strength up. You do know the Big Smoke order.
It's dead.
Okay, yeah.
No?
You don't know Big Smoke's order, mean?
I don't know who Big Smoke is. Who is Big Smoke?
Big Smoke is from GTA 3? Someone confirm? Or no, San Andreas, isn't it? San Andreas. Yeah. GTA San Andreas.
I never played a significant amount of that.
In one of the early missions, you go with one of the NPCs whose name is Big Smoke, and you go to order food, and he orders a ridiculous amount of food, and then turns to the rest of the car, is like, right, what's everyone else having? Implying the entire huge order was for him, kind of thing. It's very funny. San Andreas, goddammit, yeah. Yep.
It is not okay.
Alright, so the RAM is dead. Okay, big sad. Fine.
Yes, it is the dead.
Alright, let's turn that guy off. I'm going to show you guys this other computer just so you can see what it is, just as a warning, if nothing else.
Yep. Sad, your savage is no longer savage.
Yeah.
But of course, because it's Kingston, it has nothing of use on the label.
Yeah, bloody Kingston. I like Kingston RAM, but my God, their labels don't tell you anything.
No.
So yeah, I'll show you this computer. I've been trying to decide whether to make. I have been recording the repair of this computer, but I haven't decided whether I'm actually going to publish it. Do you want to unplug it and just put it on the floor?
I will do in a second. I was just going to stick this in.
Where this computer is super bad, like basically the kid who owns this computer, he saved up his pennies and bought it with his own money, kind of thing. So I don't want to put it on YouTube because I don't want the YouTube comments to sit there and put this kid's computer on blast, because unfortunately it's not very good. And I don't want to put it on blast because bless his cotton socks, he saved up his pennies and he bought his first gaming computer, and I've got big respect for that. I've got mad respect for that. So I don't want to savage it on camera. However, it has a very interesting fault which I think serves as a viable warning to people not to buy computers like this. So it's kind of a difficult situation, really. You've got an old Diagnostic DVD. It's only working with legacy mode. Ah, fair enough. Yeah. Memtest86 is a free download from their website. No, my fans. So. Right. Behold. This computer is Vinoscorp brand. And it's not very good, guys. Let's have a look. Let's do a tour of this thing. So, firstly, it's in one of these really garbage cases. Look at the fans. The fans they're literally up against the front. I checked those front fans. They're not doing anything. They're doing nothing because they're just up against the front glass. And the worst part is because of
plastic.
the plastic. Yeah, plastic. Because this drive cage is there, you can't even. I mean, you could move that fan to the inside of the case, but not that one. And even if you did, there's not even any ventilation. There's not even any ventilation along this bit. So it's just, literally all the fans light up and that's all they can do. I'm going to turn this around and flip the camera, I think. So that's the start of the problem. There we go. Now the camera is straight. It makes a bit more sense. So then the problems continue. We've got this builder power supply with it says it's 500 watts. Yeah, my foot, 500 watts. Apparently a 22 amp 12 volt rail. Someone can run the numbers on that. But this motherboard is killing memory modules. It's now confirmed because this has been working in the YouTube recording rig for literally years. For the past couple of years, this memory was in the YouTube recording rig. It spent 3 hours in this motherboard and now it's stone dead. So, yeah. So I'm actually afraid to plug any memory into this board, knowing that it's killing modules. So right, this one was the one that was faulty, and this one was apparently okay, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not going to get any more faulty.
And it certainly did post.
Yeah, and it did post. So let's plug in this module, and let's just see if we can see any problems in BIOS that might give us a clue, give us a bit more information about what's going on with this thing. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think my advice to the customer is going to be get your money back on this computer. The computer's crap. It's a lemon. Get your money back. Let me build you something that's not bad, basically. Yeah. I can't build you something that's as cheap as this thing was, but I can build you something that's actually good, you know. Right, power to the back. Power to that. Keyboard. Whoa, Maelstrom! Donation to build that kid a real computer with $100. My dude, I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. I'll let the owner know. I'll let the owner know. Hang on a sec. Can you screen cap that for me, please?
No. Oh my god, can I keyboard?
Figure out how to keyboard and screen cap that for me. Thank you. Get the whole picture. Yeah. Just get the whole thing so it's in context. Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. I'll make sure that gets to the appropriate place. Yeah. I don't know what to say, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. Because, well, I mean, that's the thing. When I was... How old was I when I... Well, yeah. When I was probably 13, I was working a summer job to save up and build my computer, which was the Pentium 3800 that I've mentioned before. So I know I've been there. I've done that thing where I was saving up to build my first gaming computer, and that's why, like, when I originally this looked like it was just faulty memory, and I'm like, am I going to make a video about this kid's computer because the comments are going to savage it? The comments are going to rip this thing to shreds. And that's not going to make him feel good about the computer he's bought. And I said to the kid's dad, I said, look, I'll level with you. This isn't a great computer. Yeah. But the other thing as well is that it's his first computer. He's going to have the itch. He's going to want to buy a nice case. He's going to want more power. He's going to upgrade every component in this over time. And so it's okay that this computer isn't very good because he's going to upgrade. He's going to replace every component in this over time.
As long as it was cheap.
Yeah, it was. Right. Well. Let's put it this way. They said, I'll tell you how much, because I said, if you don't mind, how much did you pay? They paid £420 for this. And it's a 4th gen i7. So it's a case of, like, you could have done better than that with new parts. I mean, well, let's face it. When I asked how much did you pay, I half expected him to say 600.
True.
That's what I expected. When he said 420, I'm like, okay, this is not, that's not great, but that's not daylight robbery. You and I have both heard worse stories than that.
Like the FX PCs getting sold in like 2020.
Exactly, so it's not great, but whatever. So yeah, that's the thing. However, hopefully, I think they're going to get a refund on this, and then we're going to try and build them something better.
Well, yeah, if they do, and they can get another couple of quid together, that's like 500 quid.
That's it. And yeah, I mean, as said, 4790K owner, the CPU is okay. The problem is that it's got this crazy Chinese motherboard, and where's the RAM?
No, I wasn't complaining because it was a 4th gen i7 at that price. It was the fact that it's a GT 1030.
Yeah, GT
that
1030.
Crappy power supply.
That power supply,
no
useless.
SSD.
It has got an SSD. Yep.
Oh, does it?
Yep, it's got an SSD back there.
Okay.
Yep. Useless case. This was the memory that was in it. This is obviously just some recovered stuff. And yeah, it's all branded with this Venoscorp stuff. So that's obviously some weird Chinese thing.
I mean, that's cool that they've got that level of branding going.
Yeah, the branding is interesting. I don't know if anyone wants to do some digging and find out who the hell Venoscorp is, because their name is on all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's all tat, though. That's the problem.
I mean, it wasn't garbage speed RAM, because it's 1600.
Oh, yeah, but come on. Everyone's got 1600 DDR3.
But
agreed. It could have been 1333, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's
whatever.
So bizarre.
Yeah, let's turn this thing on. The front lights up, so, when he got it and plugged it in, it lights up. This is what the kids want, and it looks cool. But at the same time, his father came in and saw the good computers on my bench, and he was just like, I can already see how outclassed this computer is, Oh, wow. Okay, there's a thing going on here. Very well. Yeah, okay, we're getting screenshots of this. I don't know what to say, you guys. Larry Boyd and who's that? Captain Kremman with the £50 and £100 super chats towards building him a new computer and build the kids something really nice. You guys are unbelievable. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is stunning. I'm going to have a conversation with this kid's dad, and this kid's dad is going to be like, sorry? I'm going to say to this kid's dad, I was doing a live stream and I was talking about your kid's computer and people just started sending money. Like, this is, this is mind-blowing. Is that another one?
No, I was just keeping both of them.
Is that the previous one? Yeah, okay. Although, is that another one that's just coming at the bottom?
Oh, God.
That's another one from Maelstrom. Another $200. You guys are insane. Like, thank you very much, but you guys are insane. Oh, what the... Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'll make sure that this kid gets taken care of. I can't tell you what we're going to do for him right now, because I haven't thought this through yet. But we'll sort this kid out. We'll get this kid something nice,
nice.
So yeah, we'll get him something nice. If nothing else, if they can get a refund on this, get their money back from this, with this money, they're going to be buying something that's on my counter, which is something that's actually really nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've got that 12100F. That
12100F in the Corsair 220T with the Corsair RGB.
That's quite the upgrade, isn't it?
Hell, I mean, if they can get their money back on this and it all adds up, he might be walking home with that with the 6600 XT in it as well.
God, to go from a 1030 to a 6600,
it's going to change his world. And yeah, he's a young
just
lad.
The fact of what you'd have gone from for this to be an upgrade that you'd purchase to then immediately jump to that as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm blown away.
Oh God.
Yeah. Whoa, Matt Burley with 1,000 is that Hong Kong dollars?
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is. Hang on a sec. Bloody hell, you guys are crazy. Are you googling it now? Yeah. I don't know how much that is. It's another It's approximately $128.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys. I'm speechless. I'm genuinely speechless. I'm going to have a look at Yeah, when you get a moment, if you could just switch over to Camlink, I think, on OBS, just to see if we got capture on this. Boop. Okay, it did start up.
desktop.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna reboot this into memtest, and we'll just see what this RAM does. At this point, I think this kid's getting a new computer, but I just want to know what the story is with this motherboard, why it's killing memory modules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because just like I don't, there might be nothing to see here, but maybe we can just measure and see that it's running really hot on the memory vCore or something like that.
Yeah, the other thing that would be interesting to see is just see what BIOS is set to.
Yeah.
If it's auto setting like 2.2 volts for the memory kit or something.
Yeah, Matt. As soon as we tie up, I'm going to give the guy. No. Should we call him tonight?
Yeah. I think so.
And just say sorry to disturb your evening, but I just need to tell you something that's occurred. Yeah. And and just say, look, we've got. Is that another one there? Have you got that one?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's that? As Henry McCants, another $50. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. For what it's worth, for anyone who's curious, just to sort of who the father and the kid is, for the record, they're both. The father seemed like a stand-up blue-collar worker to me. Yeah. So just so you know who this chap is, it's not some weirdo or anything like that. He seemed like a stand-up guy to me, and it's an honest kid who wanted a gaming PC. So yeah, we haven't asked for this. However, you guys are opening. Thank you very much, and I think we can make someone very, very happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm going to butcher some names here. Let's see. Milos Cybulski. You were here earlier on, I think, weren't you? Yep, that's 20 quid for the kid's new computer as well. Christopher David, another $50. Robert Cooley with another $50. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, we're screen capping the chat just so we don't lose track of these, just so we can actually make a note of who put in what, because when something unexpected like this happens, it suddenly becomes very hectic and difficult to track what's coming in where.
Absolutely.
So as I say, we're not making any guarantees of anything right now, but we'll do everything we can to make sure that all of this goes into the right place, and I will be sure to let you guys know how this all plays out. So I'm not keeping track of the chat at the moment, but I'm seeing a lot of love.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy, man.
I think the thing that would be nice is to be able to do a quick video for the build that happens for them, but not necessarily to involve them in it unless they want to be.
Yeah.
Just because obviously it'd be nice to, on the back of this, just kind of go, and here's the PC that your money built.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Yep. Yes, because something along those lines. So yes,
charity with a camera in the receiver's face isn't charity.
Yes.
Kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. Well then. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can. Right. We're sitting on a black screen at the moment. I'm going to turn this thing back on. Let's just again. Let's finish our science here. So I'm going to put this thing into BIOS. So let's spam into BIOS.
There you go.
All right.
Aptito.
Right.
Setup utility. Aptio.
Aptio. Yeah, Aptio. That's a name I recognise, but yeah.
Compliancy. Apparently, it complies with pi. I'm glad you comply with the fundamental of maths.
Yeah. Right. Have we got any kind of monitoring here? Chipset. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't think there is, because when I was working on this, because all the fans run at full speed, and I was looking for thermal controls, and I couldn't find any hardware monitoring in this BIOS at all. Yeah. So I don't think it actually has any kind of BIOS monitoring or fan controls or anything. So I don't think we're actually going to find anything here. We might have to get it into. Yeah. Does memtest tell us voltages?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll grab the Red SSD.
Oh yeah, we'll boot it. Yeah, we'll boot it from our test SSD, and then we can get some more information for however long this works to until it kills this other memory module. But this memory module's going back to the eBay seller who sold it to me, so I don't care if I kill the other one.
It's already faulty.
Yeah. I think it's over here actually. It's the it was the Force GT, wasn't it? Yeah, I got it. I got it in my hand. It's in my hand.
Ah, cool. It's red specifically, so it's harder to lose.
Yes. All right. Oof. Yeah. Holy shit, you guys! Just bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's heckin' awesome. I haven't added all of this up, but yeah, there's enough there to make sure that he's sorted out. So yeah, you guys are crazy. Thank you ever so much. Thank you for everything. Right, let me know when you're ready, and I'll switch this off and plug in this SSD.
We've got some memory configuration.
Oh yeah. It's only running at 1333.
No.
ECC support.
Supposedly.
Yeah. You reckon that's so they can put in...
The 4790K doesn't support ECC, I don't think.
Was the memory controller on board yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? These are really weird motherboards that make no sense at all. Like, I'll bet money that we don't find any brands or model numbers on this board anywhere if we scour the board for it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take this thing apart because we're gonna, they're gonna try and send it back to the seller.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to touch it too much because, I don't respect the seller for selling a computer like this. But at the same time, if we rip this thing apart, then it's not reasonable to expect a warranty on it.
Does it support hyperthreading? Oh, because it's a i5.
Oh, it was an i5 25. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't an i7. Ignore me. Yeah, no, ignore me. I had it in my head that it was an i7, but I think I was thinking of the XPG because that's got the i7 in it.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Let's see. It's about 600 quid. Yeah, 600 or 700 quid. Yep. Heckin' good job. Takes YouTube about 2 months to pay out to the creator. I don't think it's that long. There is a delay on the amount of time it takes the money to get to me. However, yeah, I'll figure that. I've not been in this situation before, so and I'm not going to try and figure this out live on stream. So we'll keep you guys in the loop for this on exactly how it's playing out, because once the money is registered by AdSense and I know it's getting to me, that means I can buy stuff in advance, knowing that I will get the money back and things like that.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Just
because the money might not hit my account for 4 or 5 weeks, that doesn't mean that we can't resolve the story in that length of time.
Yeah.
So, right, which one of these is which? I think it's that one. We'll know if it's the wrong one because it won't start.
Exactly.
Yeah, you pulled out the mem test.
I didn't realise you plugged in mem test.
Mem test is over there. It's not plugged in, which is the important part. Right, this thing should boot into Windows now, so we can actually run some tests on it and see if it does anything interesting.
Venoscope. No.
Okay. This might be a UEFI install, though.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, we'll give it one more try. I'll plug in the other SATA connector.
Why would that be a...
Oh, yeah, of course this thing can boot UEFI. Yeah, I don't know why.
That can. And that's the same age.
Yeah, but also that's got a motherboard that isn't this. It's got a motherboard that was manufactured.
It was. At some point.
Oh, there we go. It's doing something now. Yeah, there we go. Bright screen warning. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Need to remake this because there's a bunch of services that have been deleted.
Oh, yeah. We kind of butchered this one a little bit.
So need to remake that.
Yeah,
at some
it's
point.
functional, but yeah. Oh, All Dreams. Yeah, All Dreams Fall Down. Hello, how you doing again? Regular. Nuput. Thank you very much.
I think this booted off of their SSD because it didn't go straight to desktop.
Ah, okay, right. In that case, I plugged their SSD in then, yes. Yeah, because that'll be their one again.
Yeah.
Heck. All right, so I did have the right one plugged in. Right, let's shut that down again. Yeah, it's 30%, unfortunately. So there are some losses here. Yeah. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have possibly said other things. But there's still enough there that we'll sort everything out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's plug that guy back in. And if we jump into BIOS and see if we can change UEFI boot. Boot menu. There we go. Change that to Windows Boot Manager. So change option. Yeah,
okay.
That should do it. Yeah, see if that does the job. GG.
The memory is sufficiently unstable.
Also, the memory is probably burning up, or so it's doing terrible things. Do you want to pass me the multimeter? I'm just going to probe the memory just to see if anything happens. Right, it has automatically rebooted. UK Taxman will also take some of it. Don't worry about that. That's stuff that I deal with. It's more complicated than that. Theoretically, yes, but also no.
Technically, if you specifically write this, you can write this off as a charitable donation.
Exactly that. So yeah, that's why I say technically yes, the taxman will want to look at that, but also yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean we'll lose it to the taxman though.
Also, I don't think it's posting anymore.
Yeah, I think this memory has just died. I also don't know where I can probe memcore from this at the moment. I'm going to just dive into the middle of the MOSFETs and just see what I get.
According to Paul Vellante, Venoscorp are based in Manchester.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Memcore is at 1.56.
That's not terribly high.
So yeah, it doesn't look like it's not dumping 5 volts into the RAM.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. Yeah, sorry, Venoscorp, your computer sucks.
Yeah.
You know, if you disagree with me, then.
But also,
you know,
politely, the fuck is that?
It's the cheapest possible Ethernet transformer that China can buy. I think.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God, the USB 3s is in nearly as bad place as John's motherboard.
This is the thing. This motherboard is modern manufactured in China and sold as a bundle. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think the memory has just died.
Some of the devices they're selling. What?
Yeah. I should post the details for people to know next time. If I'd known, I'd have said put it in the PayPal because it's easier for me to get it out of there.
Yeah.
However, this is where we live now.
Yeah.
So M Network Systems, thank you very much for the £20.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. Okay, it's not posting anymore.
No, absolutely.
I
don't know what we can learn specifically.
Yeah. Should we plug this module into the XPG just to see if that's just died?
Posts again. Yeah, absolutely.
Because if this doesn't post in the XPG, then it's just killed this memory module.
Yeah.
And it's just done that on camera as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, just in case Venoscorp want to have an argument with the owner of this computer. Like, I don't like savaging companies, but come on. Let's be realistic here. This thing is tat. Everyone knows it's tat. They know it's tat.
Yeah.
Don't sell stuff like this. It's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Right.
Slide.
Now I know that we're going to sort that kid out with a better computer. The kid gloves are off now, you know? I'm like, I'm not going to be nice about it anymore. Like, I didn't like it from the start, but now I know that we can do something about it. I'm a lot less inclined to be generous. Patrick Harrison, $50. Thank you very much. Are you still screen capping?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for sorting that.
I will be when I'm using the correct keyboard.
Yeah. YouTube does have a way of me tracking super chats. However, it's notoriously janky, so I'm just making sure we screenshot everything just in case. Because sometimes the YouTube control panel has a nasty habit of just going, we're just clearing this screen now. And you're like, ugh. And you can see your earnings, but you might even see the breakdown of transactions, but you might not see who it came from and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that was the marked one.
Yeah. Yeah. The other one's out of the memory.
Yeah.
Out
All right.
Of the
we were going for
sync.
slot 3. We were working, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just because that's the primary slot of the second channel.
Oh, okay.
And we can't get to the primary slot of the first channel.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's turn that on. We're good. Power. Light her up.
Boop.
Right. And I'm going to switch over to bench cam again because I bet money this isn't going to post.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, fine. All right. All right. I stand corrected. However, I'm going to reset it and we'll hit it with mem test. Is that just... I think that's just frozen. Oh, no, it's back. It's back.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Do you want to control delete that and we'll just let it go into mem test? So this memory stick, it didn't do a full pass, but it got through 2.5 minutes of mem test.
No, it didn't. That one did.
Oh, that one did. Oh, okay.
This one errored within about 6 seconds.
Oh, so we were testing with a bad module anyway, so...
Yeah, because we didn't want to bust that potentially good one.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
so
this test doesn't mean anything then. We know it's going to fail this, but it did post when the other board didn't, so it means it hasn't completely killed the module dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, however, it looked... Yeah, okay.
I thought that just died because you went... What is your PayPal?
What is my PayPal? The PayPal is info@adamantit.co.uk. Yeah.
Adamantit.co.uk.
Cool. As I say, not required, always appreciated. If you do send anything that way, PayPal allows you to specify what you're for.
You can put like names and stuff
just
on it.
stick in that kid's computer or something like that.
Yeah.
And I will keep an eye on it. So yeah, it might. So yeah, do that, and we'll keep an eye on it. Again, not required. We have no plan. This was not planned.
No.
We have no plan.
This was not a bit.
Yeah.
This was not a plan.
This was not planned. This was not in. I just wanted to say, by the way, look at this. You know, word of warning to people for what these computers look like.
Oh, that's cool. Shalamp.
I'll send you a test dim with 3 different voltage readings because this is unbearable to me. Oh no!
I am terribly sorry that we hurt you.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm incompetent.
Yeah. Well, normally I don't care this much about, normally go to Live Gamer.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think we're done basically anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Normally I don't bother going into this level of testing because if the modules fail mem test, then you've got faulty memory and it's never the motherboard.
Yeah.
This is legitimately the first time I've seen a motherboard that is potentially killing modules. So this has never been something I've needed to test before. Same reason why I don't use a postcard reader in anything, because it's just you just swap out components until it works.
Yeah.
However, it's much appreciated. If such a thing appears, I'll certainly have a look at it and I can make a video and just say, hey, look, this is a thing that exists. So that's super cool.
Apparently, there's been several mentions from people that their website is approximately horrifying.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have a quick look.
Are we going to bring it up? Yeah. All right. So if you...
I didn't mean...
Okay,
like
yeah. Let's not show... This is one of those awkward situations where it's just like, how much do we want to put these guys on blast here?
Oh, no.
Because,
it's a bit rough.
Yeah.
They also need to learn how apostrophes work.
Oh, no.
That's not how they work.
Oh, yeah. Remember, people, the plural, this is a PC, a personal computer. This is a PC. The plural for PC is PCs. You do not use an apostrophe on plural nouns. There is no apostrophe in PCs. However, whatever. I see everyone does that, so... Right. Yeah, I don't want to put these people on blast because I think that's unprofessional. However...
They sell a PC that's £1,300. Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a 3060 in it.
Yeah, but just the
That's-
fact of
yeah.
they go all the way up to £1,300.
It's got a 10th gen i5 and a 3060 for £1,300. Fine.
Yeah.
That's probably not terrible. Their low end is the problem. Like, this is, that thing is tat and they know it. The person who built that computer knows that it's tat. Don't sell stuff that you know is tat. Don't do that. It's bad. Control zero. We're browsing the internet on a trackpad that has pinch to zoom that's very sensitive. So sometimes you accidentally zoom to 400%.
And just completely break stuff. But yeah. Oh god, they're registered with bloody 30-day credit, people. And everything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's wrap up.
Yeah.
Because yes, that's these are things that have occurred today.
Absolutely.
Right. Let me just get the chat back up just so we can see that. There we go. They're selling CAC. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
It'll be high pressure and full of lies. Yeah. Let's see. Maelstrom sent another $200 via PayPal. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
No.
Once again, thank you, everyone. Again, I got to make disclaimers here because obviously this was not planned. And I don't know how the customer is going to react when I tell them what happened. So just keep all of this in mind. But we're going to sort something out. We're going to make sure that they have the offer of all of this. And what I'll say is I was talking about this computer on my podcast on Saturday. We were looking at some of the faults it had, and people just suddenly opened their wallets and poured out money. So we have this sum of money with which to build you a new computer. To which obviously a sensible person will turn around and say, that's delightful, I will gratefully accept, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in which case, in all probability, we will probably do something that is based on one of the systems that I have on the shelf. Or if one of those is not suitable, then we'll build something new.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we'll let you guys know how that goes. If there is a build video of it, then we'll show that to you.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. But I'm not going to figure all of this out on the spur of the moment. I need to stop and think this through, just so I don't do anything drastic.
But if they get a refund from that computer based on the chat revenue listed there. Yeah.
If they get their money back from the stupid Venoscorp thing, the great thing is, even if Venoscorp just completely screws them and they don't get their money back, we can still build them a nice computer,
absolutely.
which is just heckin' rad. So this is like some young kid, and he's going to be playing Minecraft and Roblox or something like that, and probably Fortnite.
Yeah.
However, and like his dad was just like, oh, he's only a kid, he doesn't need anything super good. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, well, he's going to have something that's going to last him then, isn't he?
Yeah.
So and he's going to have the best computer among his mates. I think for a kid who saved up and saved his pennies, I think he deserves it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
Oh, mind blowing. Yeah. Okay, right. There's a lot of chat to follow up on, but again, thank you, everyone. We're going to wrap up now, and we're going to go and get some dinner.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I don't know what to say. We'll let you know how this all goes. There'll be a follow up. I don't know where. If nothing else, we'll let you know what is going on next week on the podcast.
Yeah.
Also, failing that, if you're in the Discord or if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description down below. Feel free to ping myself or Caradog and just say, hey, how's it going with that kid's PC? And we'll let you know what the status of that is as well. Yeah. As I say, I think the one thing that we can do is just let you know where we're up to with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And as we said, the main thing is the fact of, obviously, we don't want to just shove a camera in their face. No. So it might be a case that there might be no more update other than simply us saying this is what's happened.
Yeah, exactly that.
If they're interested in the idea of us building the computer and recording that, then we'll do that.
We'll see what their reaction is.
We'll see what their interest is, and it will be entirely guided by them.
Yeah. Personally, I'm always slightly skeptical when you see news stories where they're just like, oh, generous company donated this to some kid who lost his iPad, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also, this is kind of different because this is this is this community, our community, just suddenly opening their hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a very different situation to that. However, also, yeah, we're not just going to ambush them with a camera and just say, they bought you a new computer, he reacts, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll have a chat with them and we'll actually formulate a plan for this.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to hit stop streaming now. I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. We will see you next week.
And also everyone who helped with the chiller, thank you very much. And everyone who was hanging out for that. And well, thank you everyone for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This isn't possible without an audience.
No, absolutely.
Or also, it is. It's just very boring.
It's all right. I'm sure we could prattle to each other for 4 hours.
Well, that's what we used to do. And we said, hey, we should record this.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And somehow indirectly get a kid a computer because of it. It's madness. But anyway, yes, join the Discord. Ping us about stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. And also, if anything does show up in the PayPal, I will be checking for it. So yeah, thanks for that as well. I'm just going to put a provisor on that. Make sure that you mention what it's for in the notes. Otherwise, anything that just randomly appears within the next 24 hours, I'm going to assume is related to that. But obviously, it's a bit harder to log that. Just when random money appears in my account, it's hard to know where that's come from. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Past that, I think that's all the legal disclaimers that I need to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're out. Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone. See ya.
Ciao.